Playing Legend of the Five Rings Roleplaying. My name is Evan Johnson, and I'm joined by all of these lovely people. Remind the lovely audience who you are, lovely people.
I'm Nate Sullivan. I do graphic design for FFG.
Ryan Ritter, I also do graphic design for FFG.
I'm Alexis Steckman. I work in the RPG department at FFG.
And you're our game master here.
So,
what you may remember from last time is that we created our characters. That was last stream on Tuesday. We created some lovely characters that we'll run down in a moment here. But today we're here. We're going to do a little one-shot adventure that Alexis has prepared, and we are going to make mischief as we do. So let's talk a bit about like what our characters are and what we got going on, right?
let's start with the scorpion.
All right. So let's see. So let's get out of there. All right. So my character, I am Bayushi Kiyobu. So I am a scorpion courtier of the Bayushi family. So kind of my whole thing is I am, pretty elderly and seasoned in the courts. I've been around for a long time. I've been tasked at the start of this sort of adventure, the crab, which we'll meet in a second here. He's coming up with a crab courtier from the Crablands. They're on a mission to collect some jade for their efforts at the wall. And I've kind of been charged by my lord, Bayushi Shoju himself, to basically watch over them, make sure they don't get like robbed or seduced or shanked or end up in a field somewhere face down.
As crabs do.
That would in Scorpion Lands.
On our back.
Oh yeah, because crabs are known for just rolling over.
Well, if they roll over, they can't get it back up again.
Oh no! Wait, I don't. That's turtles.
Well, maybe it's crabs too.
Okay.
So that's kind of my charge, but unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, if you're a fan of drama, basically in my past, in my youth, I was a rising star in the courts. However, my kind of greatest manipulations were brought to nothing due to the clumsy interference of the Crab Clan. So since then, I've served the Scorpion Clan loyally for decades, although without any kind of recognition. And so I'm not a huge fan of the crab. At the very least, I kind of want to just get away from them. And in my darkest moments, I might want to like actively kind of sabotage what they're doing. So that's where I'm at. That's my kind of character. Who you got there, Ritter?
I am playing Yogo Hiroko. She's a Shugenja for the Scorpion Clan. She has a very dark past.
Very
her
dark.
family's castle was overtaken by a rogue Phoenix Shugenja who summoned a spirit that wiped out a good portion of her family. But my character was able to valiantly fight off the Phoenix Shugenja. But as the spirit was dispelled, it took her eye from her, and she's forever haunted, seeing her family suffer through the vision of her lost eye from the spirit. So she has two weaknesses. She's missing an eye, and she can see through that eye, but you can't always trust what she sees through that eye.
Sure.
She believes that jade should be used to fight off these supernatural spirits, as well as take on people that use blood magic. So we have some alignment here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pincer Bros.
Yeah.
For people who don't know what blood magic is, it is when individuals, they're kind of like Shugenja, which are magic users. They make sacrifices to do horrible things, and those sacrifices usually include killing people and taking their blood to summon corrupted spirits.
Is it still bad if you kill an animal to do it?
Yes, it's blasphemy.
That makes sense.
Okay. All right.
Though some in Rikugan might agree that it's not, but
And then I deal with them.
That's what
deal
I'm
with
saying, right?
The conflict my character has is she vowed to stop Shugenjas from using blood magic, but her Scorpion overlords also say do whatever it takes to make sure Scorpion Clan stays on top.
Yeah.
So there's no line that can't be crossed at the same time.
Yeah, there's some emphasis on the whatever it takes.
Yeah.
it takes.
And then I am playing Kuniaki. I am a Crab Clan Kuni. I've got I'm a witchfinder. I hunt down these blood magic users. I started out on regular missions like a typical Crab Clan warrior, going beyond the wall. into the Shadowlands, where I've lost fingers on my own hand, scarred by the nightmares beyond.
The bog hags, watch out.
Hopefully no bog hags on this side of the wall.
Well, you're not near a bog, so it's probably fine.
Yeah, and then I've been sent to pick up some jade to better fight said nightmare creatures, and I think it's ridiculous that I even have to ask. I think this jade should just be coming to the wall to defend the rest of the Empire.
Yes. One of your biggest gripes is Jade goes into shrines.
Yep.
How dare you?
How dare you do such a thing?
A beautiful waste of resources.
Yeah. Cool. So you guys have prepared your character sheets. We have Hiriko over here, Yogo Hiriko, and Bayushi Kyobu.
Yes.
So as they mentioned, they have been delegated by their lords to meet up with Kuniaki and Kuniaki's companion, Yasuki Sayaka.
Okay.
Yasuki Sayaka is basically the one, the talky one. She is going to work with the individuals in Kaiden Bayushi, so the Palace of the Bayushi, to actually secure a rather large jade shipment is the hope. So you two have been asked to escort them there, and you're escorting her. So she's kind of the main person. This is just an escort mission. No, I'm kidding. Excellent. So you have also been given temporary use of 4 Rokugani ponies.
Okay.
Usually ponies are not allowed because they really mess up the roads, but you have special permits. That is a thing.
Yes. All our documentation is in order.
All your documentation is in order. You have your travel papers. It's great. And you are traveling. It's about 2.5 days to get to where you're going.
Okay.
And the sun is setting.
Okay.
You had originally planned on just camping along the road, which is far beneath a samurai, but is sometimes necessary.
Right.
However, there is a village not too far away that you have come across. There are vast rice fields on either side of the road, and peasants are known for being very hospitable to their samurai overlords. They kind of have to.
Well, yeah, I'll cut them in half if they're not hospitable.
So that is the scene. You're on the road, so you have the choice of going to this village or just passing it by.
So we met up with the crab envoys a while ago.
A while ago,
We
yes.
met
So
them
you've been traveling
presumably-
for about a day.
Okay, we met presumably like on the border between our
Yes.
lands or
Yep.
thereabouts. Okay, all right.
Yep.
All right, so we've been traveling for about a day. Well, it seems like it's getting kind of dark out.
Yeah, I think we need to rest at this village.
Sure, I think my courtier could use
We'll
a
be
nice
safe.
feather bed to sleep in.
I'm sure we'll be safer in this village than camping out on the road.
Agreed.
Sayaka scoffs.
Although the crab would undoubtedly keep us safe.
Yeah.
I don't need
They're
a
so
feather
good
bed.
at keeping us safe.
You're welcome.
No one keeps us safe like the crab do.
It's true. I'm so appreciative of all of these compliments. So we head to the village.
You deciding to go to the village?
Yeah,
Not gonna
let's
pass it by.
let's ride on up.
All right. You ride up to the village. For those of you that have traveled to villages before, specifically you, Kayabu, because occasionally, unfortunately, in your dutiful service to your lords, sometimes you're asked to guard magistrates who need to get taxes. So you're
Yes.
familiar with dealing with villages.
Yes, I've been doing this a long time.
Yes.
I'm seasoned.
And you actually recognize this village. This
Okay.
is one of the larger villages. It's called Fertile Field Village.
Okay.
And it is owned by the Bayushi family.
Have I been here before?
You have been here before, but it
Okay.
was many years ago.
Okay. All right.
If you would like to, you may make a government check to see what you remember.
All right. I would love to make a government check to see
So
what I remember.
I'm going to explain how checks work, folks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there is a page that I actually want to flip to, just so people can kind of see. Checks somewhere.
Check.
No, yes. Here is a fine, nice chart for people. So, there's several processes, but once you actually learn how the process works, it's pretty fast. So you are going to, I've selected what skill you need to use, which is government.
Yep.
The TN, the target number, the number of successes you're trying to get is 2. If I ever choose to not tell you what the TN is, you will gain a void point. And I'll explain void points in a second. They're very useful. They keep you from dying.
Is there a place on my sheet where I track void points?
Yes, it's on the back of your front sheet there.
I see. Okay.
So you have a maximum number of void points available to you equal to your void ring. And then at the start of every session, you start with 1.
Okay.
But you can never exceed your maximum value.
Perfect.
So you will choose what ring you would like to use for this. Some examples of approaches associated with the ring are actually, should I show character sheet?
I'll put one up.
Yeah.
Are shown on the side here of character sheets. So if you're making a government check, you will be looking at the approaches kind of there to sort of help make your decision.
Yeah, so I'm kind of trying to, let's see. I'm gonna like sort of look around and try and, survey the landscape and sort of like jog my memory of this fertile field village based on what I see.
Yes. So survey is going to be water.
All right.
So
I
you
get
will
2
gather
ring dice.
a number of black dice, ring dice, equal to
Here they
your
are.
water ring, which is 2. Then you will gather a number of skill dice, which are white, equal to your ranks in government.
None.
None! Okay, well then we're gonna roll.
All right, let's see what I get. All right, I got, let's see, that is a strife, an opportunity, and 1 success.
So before we decide, which step, where'd the book go?
Oh,
I was gonna
we
it's
closed
okay.
it to roll the dice.
That's fine.
We'll get it back.
The modify step. So you select which dice you want to keep.
Yeah.
You can keep a number up to your ring value. Sometimes you don't want to keep that many dice though. So it's possible you rolled a bunch of really crappy rolls and you're not gonna succeed anyway. So you might want to keep actually less, so you don't suffer a bunch of strife, which I will explain strife in 1 second. So there's a bunch of symbols on the dice.
Yep.
We've seen our symbols here. So this symbol is a success symbol. It's kind of like a swirly with a little tail on it. That is what it sounds like. It's a success. This little heart type thing, it's supposed to be a stylized cherry blossom. It is the strife symbol. So strife is something that you accumulate. It's basically you feeling things. So samurai are supposed to kind of keep this guise of you're an upstanding citizen. You don't have outbursts. You don't smile a ton or anything. You don't want to give things away, basically. Strife is you feeling anything. You have a composure value. Which is
see it.
associated.
Yes.
So I have this character sheet here. So you have a composure value.
Yes.
If your strife ever exceeds your composure value, a couple of things happen. You can no longer keep dice symbols that have strife on them,
Such as this one.
such as that one.
Yep.
And your vigilance is 1. So your vigilance is your ability to react to things that you weren't already aware of. So if somebody ambushes you, then you are not ready because you are too worried about all of the things happening to your emotions.
Yes.
Yeah, if you exceed your composure value, you can choose to unmask to get rid of all of your strife. Unmasking has narrative ramifications and usually will affect your honor or glory if you do that. It's you doing like an outburst, or you running away, or you being thrown into a fit of giggles or something like that. So strife is something when you're rolling dice, you really want to consider whether or not you want to keep that in that moment.
For sure.
Opportunity is a bunch of swirlies. Opportunity is your opportunity, to add narrative flourish to the game.
The opportunity symbol is right where that FFG logo is on the screen.
Look, it's there.
It's there.
It's so cool. I can't see it, but you can. The opportunity symbol allows you to kind of add a little bit into what's going on, or activate certain abilities that you have on your techniques. Techniques are things that characters start with and also can purchase through experience points. Yeah, so you have an opportunity, a strife, and a success. There's one other symbol, which I will show you really quick.
Yeah.
It is 3 swirlies with tails, probably up here.
Ta-da!
Yes, 3 swirlies with tails. This is one of the best symbols that you can get on the dice because it is an explosive success. So not only does it count as a success, it allows you, if you choose to keep that die, to roll an additional die of that type and choose whether or not you want to keep it. So you can keep more things and hopefully do really, really well. It's something that I really like about this game.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Okay.
moving back to your actual check.
So, all right. So this is what I rolled. Here, we'll set this stuff back. Let's see. So I needed 2 successes to
you did
succeed.
need 2
Can
successes.
you run down the symbols you rolled real quick?
I rolled a success, and then this die is showing opportunity with strife.
Yes.
So I can't succeed. I don't have enough to succeed, right? And also, although actually, since I've been here before, would my seasoned advantage come into play here, where I can re-roll 2 dice?
Would. So you can re-roll up to 2 dice that you've rolled because you are applying an advantage.
All right.
So advantages and disadvantages are really important things to keep in mind because you can always just be like, hey, GM, does this apply in this circumstance? And I will probably say yes.
Did you want to keep your success though that you roll?
Probably.
Yeah.
That seems like a good call. Yeah. Let's see what we get. Nothing.
Nothing.
All right.
However, there's one more thing that we can do, which we were supposed to do at the beginning, but it's okay. We'll retcon it a little bit.
Okay.
People can provide you assistance.
Oh, I wouldn't ask for help.
Oh, you wouldn't ask for help. All right. Never mind. I'll explain assistance later. I'm just going to let your Yogo companion, who is familiar with Scorpion Lands, potentially assist you, but fine, fail.
I like to imagine that she did lean in. Or like, oh yeah, do you remember? It's like, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I know all about this place, okay? Shh, shh, shh.
There's a building right there.
I'm like waving my staff around already.
So unfortunately, it has been a few too many years since you have been to this village, and you
Yes.
actually can't even remember the name
Or his
of the
memory
lord.
isn't what it used to be.
Do you say that in character?
I say clearly it was simply too unimportant to bother remembering.
If you would like to, you may also make this check since you are a scorpion.
Sure. So I do government water. So I'm
You
rolling
would.
the same thing.
You don't have to do water. You can argue for a different ring if you'd like to.
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
do
try to
have do the-
recall.
You're gonna try to recall the Earth
Use
ring.
Earth.
The cool thing about, and you can go ahead and roll. The cool thing about this system is it's very dynamic. You can always argue for kind of a different combination of rings and approaches and that kind of thing. So feel free. It's in your power to kind
Nate,
of.
would you like to assist me?
Sure.
Would he-
yeah.
Do you have any ranks
Does
in
he
government?
even know anything about
so-
this?
I don't know if you would your character know anything about a Bayushi farm. That's the question.
I
Do you have any
would.
farming in your background?
I mean, I assume I've been around farmlands.
But not the specific
Probably
area.
not.
So I'm going to say
Okay.
no
right.
assistance. Assistance only can apply if it makes sense.
All right. So I got an explosive success with a strife and an
Opportunity.
So you choose which ones you want to keep. You probably just don't want to keep the blank one. There's no reason to.
Yeah, so I'm
and
gonna
if
keep
you
these two.
yes.
and then
Did you didn't have any strife because you rerolled. Never mind.
Yep.
So now if you've chosen to keep those 2, you get to roll another black die and decide whether or not you want to keep it. 2 opportunity.
Yeah, and those opportunities aren't gonna help me here in this check. I can. No one has strife to remove, right?
You're about to have some.
Yeah.
You
So
to negate
I can
your
always
strife.
use one opportunity to negate one strife, right? Mm-hmm. So now I gotta figure out if there's anything good for me to use it on.
I mean, maybe there's something else that you kind of notice, like even if you don't really remember much about the village.
I actually do have something if you want me to just
Yeah.
kind of give you a little bit of information. So you can't remember who the Lord is. You can't remember who the leader is. This is not a place that you've been to before. But something you do notice as you're approaching the village is really big. There are enough houses to support 100, maybe 110 peasants, like at least. But you're not actually seeing very many peasants. And usually when samurai arrive, peasants kind of come out to bow and show their respect for you. And you're not actually noticing that. That's not.
Is it very quiet too?
It is very quiet. And there's still sunlight too.
On that same note, would it be possible for me to do a sentiment check? Like noticing like this is a big area, but there's not enough people to sustain how big like the space is.
Sure.
Like maybe try to take a feel of the general vibe.
Sure.
So
What ring are you using?
I would like to use fire to theorize.
To theorize about
Yeah.
it.
What's your theory?
My theory is, I don't know, scorpions are weird.
It's bog hags. It's bog hags.
It's all bog hags. So I would use 3 black for my fire ring, and then
We'll move these out of the
1
way.
white
Oh,
die.
don't forget to suffer your strife.
Didn't I cancel it with?
Oh, you did cancel
Yeah.
it. Sorry. I just want to make sure I
Oh,
remember.
no, for
Good.
sure.
Go ahead.
And I have 1 rank in sentiment, so I would add the 1 white die, correct?
Yes.
All right. Oh, hey.
Oh, you've gotten a lot of good things.
Whoa.
Oh, the TN
bad.
is 2.
Okay,
That's
perfect.
That's super impressive.
Now for those
so
2,
you can keep up to 3 of those
up to
dice.
3 of those.
Yes.
Okay.
And then if you have an advantage that applies, you can also utilize that advantage.
Wait, what stance did you roll?
He did.
Theorize.
Yeah, fire.
Oh, fire.
Yep.
Yeah, with sentiment.
You can with fire. You can count strife as successes too,
Oh, really?
right? Or is that
That's for
during
that's only for
combat?
conflict.
Okay.
Yep, that's only for combat.
Sure. Well, if I can keep 3,
Don't worry, we'll get into combat.
I'll keep those 3,
Okay.
so the opportunity can wipe out the strife, and then I get to roll a second.
A second white die.
Yeah. Oh, thank
There
you.
go. That's a blessed die.
Hey.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so you have actually succeeded plus 1 bonus success.
Okay.
And you've suffered no strife. You've done a good job. So you're trying to figure out, so you do notice the same thing that Haruko, is it Haruko? Haruko notices, in that there are a lot of houses that could house a lot of peasants, and these are really big fields. You are not seeing very many
Sure.
peasants. There's maybe like a third of the
Okay.
number that you would expect, and I guess it's possible they're hiding in their homes, but
But why would they?
why would they do that? Let's see what other information I can give you.
Are they being a little shifty, like maybe not making eye contact?
The ones that are coming out to greet you, just as this is as you're like rolling up to the, I mean, there's not gates, but
Sure.
the main drag. They are coming out and they're doing what you expect. Most of them are on the ground with their
Sure.
foreheads pressed to the dirt. One person you do notice is there's an older woman. She has gray hair with kind of a loose bun up top. She has a gnarled cane, and she looks like she's bowing, but she also looks like she's maybe not strong enough to like get down on the ground and get back
Okay.
up. But she is there, and she seems like, I don't know. You see eye contact for a
Noted.
brief moment.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
Not to like hog the whole thing, but would it be possible for me to kind of like nudge Yasaki and kind of say like, "Hey, keep your head on a swivel."
I planned to.
Oh.
She seems a little sleepy though.
Oh, okay.
She's a little tired.
Years. All that
Yeah.
walking, so tough for him.
All the
she's
money
riding
she
on a pony.
carries. Yeah, you all have ponies.
Yeah. Okay, so we're riding up.
Yes.
And the people are here.
You've noticed basically nothing. They've noticed
Yeah. I'm just like business as usual.
whatever. Okay.
Can I approach the elderly woman?
You can approach the
Alright.
elderly woman.
Are you the village elder?
She says to you in a very old voice, "Honorable samurai, we are blessed by your presence in our humble village, but no, I am but a simple woman. Our leader is Takashi." She does seem like she's trying to bow, but she got kind of
Yeah.
crooked back.
We'll require lodgings for the night.
Oh, of course. I am happy to take you to Takashi's home, but I must let you know that he is not here.
It seems like a lot of the village is in here.
Wait, what?
Yes. Takashi left very early this morning to go see our Lord Bayushi Kokoro at her palace, about a half day's travel. She's been working on some sort of project and has been requesting more and more of our villagers for it, but they haven't returned. It's very difficult to keep up with the rice quotas.
How long has this project been going on?
Oh, about 2 weeks.
And no one's come back yet?
No, but it is not our place to question our lord, but
Of course not.
Takashi has gone to actually do just that. I mean, not question, but inquire.
Who is currently ruling in his stead here?
I suppose I am. I am the oldest. But we don't rule each other. I just make sure the children don't kill themselves.
She knows her place. I like that. All right. Yeah. Point us to the lodging.
She takes her cane and she points you just down the main drag. So again, there's tons and tons of what you would consider huts. They're constructed of wood. They have thatched roofs. They have shuttered windows. There are also chickens running around and children chasing them somewhere. Straight away down the path, there is a significantly larger house. It's maybe 2 times the size of any of the other houses. And then next to it is a very long building. You're not sure what that building is. And she points you to those 2 buildings kind of in the center drag of the village.
I think I want to use my Community of Spirits to see if I detect any evil spirits in this village as we walk through.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Do you need to make a check for that?
Yes. So I think I'm going to use Sense then, which is Void.
Yes.
So I get 2
Appropriate.
black dice. And then Theology, I have rank 2, so I get 2 white. And then my target number to do this check is 2, so
Yes.
I get 2 successes here.
2 is a pretty standard target number unless it's unless it's fairly difficult. If there would ever be a check that, or be something that someone would make where it they just would know or they just do it, don't do a check. It's not necessary. It slows things down. But yes.
Okay, so I didn't pass that.
Do you have an advantage that helps you in this situation?
Um,
I think you have Indomitable Will, maybe?
yeah, I don't think that's gonna help.
No,
with
that
this,
doesn't really help. Alright.
So can I use of one of these advantages and void though detect if there's spirits in general
Yes,
without
you
knowing
can.
specifics?
Yes, you can. So you don't know any specifics. What you do know is, yes, there are spirits around. They're very quiet.
Alright.
Now, in a farmland like this, that would feel a little odd, wouldn't it?
So it's farmland all the way up front, and then it actually, the back of the village pushes up against a forest,
Okay,
too.
yeah.
So it's even more abnormal, because usually forests are kind of a hotbed for spiritual activity.
Right, yeah. There should be a lot more moving and goings on from the other.
They are fairly quiet.
Okay.
Guys, I don't think there's anything weird going on at all. This is fine. You know, you're shy.
There's something weird going on in my right eye. I'm not gonna talk about
That's always happening.
Speaking of which,
Oh, yes.
Oh.
you, as you're looking around and you're kind of trying to commune with the spirits, you're overwhelmed for a moment with kind of a feeling of anxiety that comes with sometimes when you have these visions out of your eye. And suddenly, standing in one of the windows is open, standing behind it, looking at you, is your sister.
Ooh, does that trigger my superstition?
It does.
Yeah. So that means, since that got triggered, I would get 3 strife and a void point?
Yes.
Okay.
So you get 3 strife and a void point. So when anxieties are triggered, strife activates and you get a void point, but this can only happen once per scene. So you're not going to constantly have this accruing.
So I started with 1. Now
start with 1.
Now I have 2.
Now you
and
have
that's
2.
my max.
Yes, 2 is your
Okay.
max. So things that you can use with void points. So this is pretty important. So there's 3 main things that you can do with void points. The first is seize the moment. So if there's a check that you think is really important, like you really want to do well on, like an attack or something like that, you can spend a void point to roll 1 additional black die and keep 1 additional black die on that check. Or sorry, 1 additional any die on that check. You have to decide that as you're assembling your dice before you actually roll.
Sure.
The second one is it's called Chattering Parry. Basically, it helps you not die if you get hit real hard. And we hopefully won't have to deal with that, but maybe. And then the third one is certain techniques actually allow you to spend void points to do cool stuff. A lot with invocations usually. So
I'm at 3 out of 10 in my composure.
3 of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Remember, unmasking
Yeah.
is always your choice, though. So you're never forced to make a social faux pas.
Just freak out about something.
All right.
Remember, Ryan's character always hearing screaming. Basically, it's background noise at this point.
Or whispers that tell me to do things. So.
They have to. The spirits mix it up. You know,
And this
keep
is
you on
this is
edge.
a flash. So she's standing there, and then there's another flash, and she has her throat cut, and then she disappears.
Oh.
It's unpleasant.
I'm gonna kind of look at the ground as I walk now.
Okay.
All right. So we're rolling on up to the big house.
You roll on up to the big house. It's still a single floor, but again, it's bigger compared to all of the others. It has several windows. You see that there is like the building that's next to it is very long. You're not exactly sure what it is.
Are we being
Oh, I'm
guided by anyone, or? Are we just
So
walking
she's
this?
following you,
Okay.
but she's slow.
Sure.
And you
sure.
have horses. There is a place to hitch up your horses. However, in front of the
Sure. Okay. I'll once we get there, I'll dismount from my horse. I'll tell some peasant to hitch up my horse, and I will walk on up into the hut.
Okay, a rather short child tries to do it.
I don't know. I honestly didn't even look.
You go into the house. The door's not locked. In perhaps in the case of this eventuality.
Is that unusual that the door is unlocked?
No, not necessarily, because the leader is out, so it's possible if there were visitors, this is where they would stay. So not necessarily.
Okay.
You go into the house, and oh man, it is not what you are used to staying in. Any of you, like not even the crab.
Yeah.
Like it's. I mean, this is a peasant's hut. There are a couple of like bed mats. But it's pretty open plan. It's just like an open space with one room in the corner. There is effectively like a chamber pot sitting in one corner too. So it's like, it's all out there.
Is it like
it's
dirt,
all
dirt
there.
floor, like
It's
straw
a dirt,
or something?
It's dirt floor. There are hanging in one corner, which you imagine is sort of like the cooking space, are a bunch of like herbs and. In fact, there is a rabbit hanging there. Meat is pretty taboo, especially red meat. In Rokugan, the peasants do, just by virtue of being peasants, kind of have to deal with it. So, very taboo place that you are in.
I'm going to, as I walk in, I'll kind of like, look around and take all this in and sort of like stir the dirt a bit with my staff and, kind of grumpily walk in a little bit further.
Seems like dirt.
Yep.
Checks
Imagine
out.
you make like a,
Checks out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I'm far too polite to do that.
Okay.
But mentally.
The stirring of my staff may have, brought that to mind in anyone. That's just an implication. That's not me saying that.
Sure.
There are 2 bed mats, and they're a bit apart from each other also, just in terms of the sleeping arrangements.
Is it just the 4 of us in the building now?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to share some of my suspicions with the party.
I thought you were going to say share a bed mat.
Yeah. Let's just
To share a bed
you
mat.
can serve heat
All right,
that
who wants to
way,
bunk
you
up
know?
together?
Sayaka walks over to the smaller of the bed mats, plops down, and goes to sleep.
Just passes out.
Just goes to sleep. She
man.
was sleepy.
Sure. Yeah.
She doesn't want to deal with. She didn't have to deal with this stuff. She's a courtier. She's a trader.
That's true.
Tireless defenders of Rokugan.
Yes.
The crab, I have heard.
At least one of us. I say, mutter under my breath.
You know that as like a general note, so the Yusuke family of the crab, they do actually deal with money, which is generally considered below samurai, but they do it in order to buy jade, so they're
Right.
actually fairly respected. Though in this circumstance, that was kind of.
Yeah. No, I figure I wouldn't call her out on it specifically because of that. I'm here to make sure the jade gets to the wall, but she's there to get the jade.
She's also there to sleep.
Yeah. So I'm not going to call her out on it, but
Is it true what I've heard that the crabs take naps in both the morning and afternoon to conserve their strength for the tireless fight against the Shadowlands.
For all of the defenders of the crab, some have different abilities than others, where some can swing away tirelessly with their tetsubo. Others are worn more weary through traversing such tenacious lands.
On horseback.
On horseback.
Of course, all must serve as they are able.
Very good.
I'm gonna kind of step in between you guys and mention that the crabs do tire from defending us from the Shadowlands. Without them, this entire land would be lost.
And
nod
what a
knowingly.
tragedy that would be as I look around pointedly.
Poking more dirt.
I'm imagining doing like Yoda pokes.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of food here for us.
So there isn't any food
Oh,
actually.
there isn't.
However, you hear a knock upon the door.
I'll open the door.
It is the old woman. She says, I have brought a couple other villagers and we bring you food to eat, venerable samurai.
Excellent.
They come in with the best food that they have,
Sure.
which is rice, a couple of vegetables, and some sake, actually.
Oh.
And she says to you, I hope the sake pleases your palates. We do have a small brewery in the back. Of course, our Lord has given us permission to do so.
Can I get like a cup of the sake and like make a check to determine its quality?
Yes, you can.
All right. So would that be like a medicine check?
It could be commerce. It could be sentiment, I guess.
Okay. I guess I'll do sentiment. I'm going to I'm gonna analyze the makeup of this sake.
Makeup of the sake. So, yep,
Okay.
pick your ring.
All right. So that is air. Since I'm analyzing what's going on with this sake, sentiment gives me 1. Let's see what we got. All right. Opportunity and then
The TN was 2.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
2 successes that have strife attached. And, this is certainly important enough to take some strife on. So, yeah,
Obviously.
I'll keep all of these, those
Yes.
3.
So you'll suffer a strife. So describe to me, since you're the first one to properly suffer strife, why are you suffering strife? What about this situation is making your character feel things?
I'm basically just kind of, even though I'm like compensating by like being very mean, I'm just sort of like a little bit worn down from the road, and I'm very old. I have trouble like moving weights and all that, so I'm also pretty tired and just kind of like a little bit upset that this is like what we have to stay in.
Yes.
So I take 2 strife, right? 1 for each of the symbols.
Well, you can take your opportunity and
Oh, yes, I see, of
negate
course.
one of them if you'd like to.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
So I'll take 1.
So you give the sake a bit of a whiff, and then you taste it. It's warmed slightly, and it tastes pretty good. I mean, it's not as good as the stuff that you're used to,
Right,
But it's not
naturally.
bad.
Okay.
It's a little comforting, and nothing super strange about it. So.
I'll say my compliments to your brewer. It is wondrous to see how much you can do with so little.
Oh, thank you. She does her little, crotchety bow. Yes, Takashi's daughter is our brewer, actually. She was one of the first summoned to the castle. So this is our last batch, actually. But I hope you enjoy it.
Can I attempt to charm her?
Yes, for what end?
What is going on?
I would like to thank you for letting us stay in whose home was it?
This is Takashi's home.
Takashi's home, as well as providing us with this fresh sake. We are honored.
Are you trying to? So what is the end of this? So you're trying to charm her in order
trying
to
to
just
charm
win
her.
her favor?
Yes.
Or-
And I have ulterior motives to the charm.
Oh, okay. So if there's
there it
ulterior
is.
motives, you will have to roll, but the TN is only 1.
Okay.
She doesn't take a lot.
So I'm using water.
What are your ulterior motives?
Oh, darn, I didn't get them. That's fine. So I succeeded in charming her.
Or you can choose not to keep
I'm
one of
keeping
them if
both.
you don't
Oh.
want to. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
So
All right.
I am succeeding in charming her. I'm taking 2 strife.
Oh, so you're going to use your opportunity for something.
Yeah. And then I'm already halfway there.
Something to note that'll be important for you. After every scene, so every so this is like one long scene that we're doing. Your composure and fatigue levels go down to half.
Okay.
If you get a full night's rest, there's also some additional healing that you can do, but just so you know, it will heal some. You won't be stuck there forever.
And then I'm going to use my opportunity with my shallow waters technique to learn of one material item or other worldly experience the target requires.
Requires. So one. Sorry, what was it? One item.
Material
or...
item or worldly experience that they require. If I had 2, I could learn her ninja, which I was trying to go for.
Okay. She genuinely seems like she wants you to have a good experience, and she seems something she requires. How about something she wants? She wants you. Oh no, that's kind of hard.
Dead.
She requires you to have a pleasant experience. That's what
Okay.
she requires.
She checks out.
Checks out.
The old woman checks
Suspicious
out.
here.
Secretly, she's actually the bad guy that you guys are fighting.
She'll be the end boss. She'll power up.
This isn't my final form.
All right. So we're just sitting here having a nice time. I'm just sort of nursing my sake.
It's fine. It's a fine
Sure,
time.
sure.
The food is rather bland, especially for what you're used. Actually, it's actually probably closer to what you're used to eating.
Like, am I kind of like, that's,
Yeah, it's okay.
alright.
It's all right. Yeah, it's like Mama's home cooking.
Yeah.
I'm just like wordlessly eating, just like eyes in the middle distance, just like this is the sustenance that I require.
So are you guys going to eat and then go to bed? It's rather late in the day.
That's my plan. I mean, I don't know about you young folk, but I'm not going out to
think-
I think we
party.
should take turns watching.
I was just going to
Yeah.
suggest the same thing.
Because I would like to question any soldiers or people inquiring about bringing more villagers out of the village if they come here when we're asleep.
I am very suspicious of that large building next to us that they have not told us what it is, what they do there.
Who
Would you like
cares?
to do a
It's
little
some peasant
midnight?
thing.
Would you like to do a little midnight mission and check it out?
I would.
Yeah, assess the threat level.
So are you guys like scheming this like out loud, like after the peasants leave?
Well, it's
or-
past your bedtime. Are you sleeping yet?
Well,
I mean, are you
kind of old.
are you gonna wait till I go to
I
sleep?
mean,
No,
Okay.
no.
if the peasants are still there in the
Yeah.
room with us, I think I might try to subtly
Oh
ask.
no,
like,
she didn't enter.
Oh, okay.
They kind of like gave you the
Yeah.
food, but they didn't want to intrude upon your
Sure.
what is now
assumed-
your
I
space.
assumed with like a higher status of a crowd there, we wouldn't be like, hey, can we just hang out with you guys for dinner? You know?
Yeah.
They're
but
not going to try to hang
With
out with you.
Okay.
the 4 of us, or I guess 3 since my buddies.
Yeah, she's so
save her
sleeping.
up late.
Is she snoring?
No,
We
she does
can't
not
leave
snore.
her
Okay.
alone. 'cause
She's
then that's
actually
also-
so quiet.
Well,
It's
if
unnerving.
you and I want to run off and do our little midnight sneak around mission,
Alright.
we could have our noble lord watch over our compatriots.
You know, you could have just asked the peasants. I think you're okay with like consorting with them on the regular.
Oh, wow, burn.
And if we lose someone on this mission, if one of us weren't to come back,
Hey, can I recover some strife with my provocation advantage?
Yes, you can.
All right.
if a Setsubo were to fall in the middle
So,
of the night,
It seems like I've got his
Yeah,
goat at
can you
this
explain,
point.
can you explain what just
So,
happened?
Evan here just used their passion, which is provocation.
Yes.
And when you successfully use it, you actually recover strife. Is there another effect to it? I actually can't remember.
Gain a void point.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the anxiety. No, there is no other effect
Yes,
other than
you
removing 3
just-
strife.
This may be a stretch, but I could use my brushwork passion to leave a note to say where we went.
I mean,
I'm gonna
That
assume
seems
that's
odd.
That is
I
a
won't game
little.
that.
That is a
I won't
little
game that.
weird.
Yeah.
Feel like you're like drawing trees
Yeah,
usually
this is
or
where we're
something.
going.
Yeah, it's just a little like box,
Okay,
and
so-
then yeah.
All right, so you all expect me to stay awake and like keep the crab out of trouble while you guys go and sneak away.
The smell of that rabbit should keep you awake.
It doesn't smell great. Also, the,
The
chamber
the
pot.
fortunes know
Oh,
it
yeah.
will.
I mean, they have a chamber pot. That's actually an upgrade. Most peasants go in a
Yeah.
hole.
Let us not speak of such things.
No, this is the god speaking. Watch out.
Before we head out, though,
You're being ungrateful.
I'd like to check on Yasuki to see if she's sleeping peacefully and everything's fine.
Sayaka is
Sayaka.
Yeah. So how Japanese names are structured is your last name is first, and then it's your first name. But if you're familiar enough with somebody, you can call them by their first name. If you're not very familiar with them, you might call them by their last name. But she seems like she's fine with you calling her by Sayaka. I don't know if your character would do that, but anyway, she seems to be sleeping fine. Though she's breathing. And she's alive, but she is not making like any noise. She's so quiet. This is something that you actually know she does
Can I
this.
attempt to
sure,
convene?
okay.
Oh,
So this is
okay.
an
You've been with her all through, like,
Okay.
you've traveled, like, a lot. You've been traveling for, like, a week
Sure.
up to this point, so you're familiar with this. You're not.
So where
would
you're
not
used to
waste
hearing
poison on
constant screaming in your head, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
silence is
It's
normal.
what
This
lulls me to sleep every night.
this is perfectly healthy. She's great.
She actually used to do some traveling outside of the wall, too, as most crab do at some point in their lives, and she learned to sleep very quietly.
Yeah.
Kind of have to do it in the Shadowlands.
Makes sense.
And then she retired basically to be a merchant. Which is
say I blame
dishonorable, actually, but it's fine.
I, Nathan Sullivan, totally agree. Send me to the Empire. Let me go do some deals.
No more goblins, please, no more goblins.
No more bog hags in the capital.
And then roll for initiative, because there's 5 bog hags. No, I'm kidding. You would actually
They're
just
coming
die.
out of the pot.
Okay, so are you sleeping or are you staying awake, my fine friend?
Does he have to roll to stay awake? As an old man?
You old man.
I would not force you
We're
to do
super
that.
ageist here.
What
Evan's
time is
the
it?
youngest of all
What
of
time
us
is
at the
it
table.
like for reals? Like, is it just like sunset? We ate, and now you guys are going. So it's like maybe 9 o'clock.
Wait until
or-
dark.
Yeah,
We
with-
said midnight mission.
Well, yeah, cover of dark,
Yeah.
like after
So
there's
it's
less
dark.
We'll say it's
traffic.
11 p.m.
Okay.
right now.
Ooh.
All right.
Central Standard.
Central Standard, Rokugani
Rokugani
time,
Standard Time.
Scorpion Standard.
Oh, I like that.
That's right. Yeah, the SST. Nah, screw it. Like, we're in Scorpion Land. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay, you go to sleep.
Yep.
Are you sleeping on the other bed, or are you like pulling out a bedroll, or
What do
You
I
have a traveling
Let's see. What do I
pack,
have? I have a
so-
traveling pack.
yeah, you would have something to lay
I assume
on.
my bedroll is nicer than that mast.
Tempur-Pedic.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I
Probably,
thought.
yeah.
So I'm gonna sleep on my own.
Okay, you sleep on your own. So you are asleep
Yep.
with Sayaka. You're in this place, and
Yep.
you two have decided to go
Have fun,
sleuthing.
kids. Haruko.
Yeah.
Let's get some clues.
I'll kind of like pull you aside and say something like,
I will make sure I'll stop you. And be like, I'll make sure he won't mess this up.
I'll just say it. Just don't let him die.
Just don't let him die.
So I feel like you probably have a better ability for like a more familiarity with the shadows and sneaking around and things like that.
Yeah, what skill would that be?
That would be skullduggery.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh,
I
I'm
have
so
a
good
lot
at
of
that.
one
Maybe
ring
you guys
to
should
it.
have asked me along on your. All right.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Yeah, but we both have to sneak, yeah? Or do we sneak as a group?
Well,
Can he
so far
assist in my
you're
sneaking?
still in this building. You haven't looked around or
You're
anything.
just discussing the
Let me
sneaking.
think.
Yeah.
While hunting down blood magic users in the past, I know that it's a good idea to have a plan to split up and a designated time to meet back up. So why don't you head over towards where more of the residents are located, like the general kind of common area?
I have one comment.
Please.
Don't forget your anxiety.
Yes.
What is your anxiety? Or should I not know?
I am impatient.
So the impatient anxiety usually means that you kind of just like forge forward and
Yeah.
are not used to thinking things through too much.
Yeah,
So just keep that in
that's
mind.
true. So I think what I would say is
Let's go.
we should split up to cover more ground. Meet back here, and then
You should take the safer route, sneaking out.
I think I would go. Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean,
So are you going to like investigate the beasants' houses and you're going to investigate the building behind,
I
or like
would
what?
like to check out the big building.
You want to check out the big building? Okay, and then
feel like
you're just
that's
gonna go like sleuth around the houses.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to
What-
house
Why,
for.
why,
Whatever
are,
you
why are
want
you
to
going
do.
to different
I'm coming
places?
with you.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
both go.
It wasn't me. He just. I was like,
don't
"Yo,
know.
grab that."
I'm sorry. I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sleep.
Let's go check out the
You
big
can
building.
hear my
Okay.
voice.
Each of you,
like
each
I'm
of you
there.
Oh, I'm
needs to
hearing
make
voices.
a TN2 skullduggery check.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming you're trying to avoid any attention.
Yeah.
So what element would you say that ties into the most? So it says here.
Or can we just choose?
So you can actually, so the approaches are kind of just suggestions. So you can just choose if you want to. The kind of like sneakier ring would be air most of the time, because fire is really bombastic. Void actually might be a little bit sneaky. Water is adaptable. Earth is like patient. So I would
I'm
probably
doing
say
Earth,
air,
yeah.
but you can definitely argue for anything.
Okay.
Think of the approaches definitely as suggestions rather than like a hard rule.
Awesome. All right.
Okay. Let's see some
We're
sneaking.
each sneaking, yes?
Yes, you're each
Okay.
sneaking
And
around.
if we're each sneaking, can we assist each other in sneaking?
No.
Get behind me.
No, you can't. I mean,
you
okay,
can
so
do-
you're
you
gonna
can
pick.
first.
You're gonna pick
Oh.
Haruko up.
Sure.
And just like, yeah, totally. No,
So
that's not how it's working.
Oh,
That is.
That's a
So
failure.
which would you like to keep? Just the opportunity or
What was the target number?
2?
Oh gosh. Was there any dangerous? No. So can I always use
Are
Earth?
you keeping this one?
No.
Okay.
I'll keep
so
these two.
just these two.
Can you always use Earth to reduce strife by 2, or is that also only
It's
during
based.
combat?
It's based on the ring that you used. You used earth instead of air. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can. Yep. You can do that.
All right, that works out. But I'm very clumsy about it.
Okay. I will describe what happens to you after you roll, because I want to see what the net result here is.
This is where you roll all successes.
I was thinking I would also roll for Earth
Sure.
on this, which gives me the 3 black dice, and then I've got 1 rank in skullduggery, so that's the correct pool,
Yes.
right?
I wanted to say one thing.
Yeah.
So the reason why you wouldn't just pick the ring that you're best at is because certain times picking certain rings will make things easier or harder, and I might not tell you that
Sure.
to start with. Sometimes I might say, oh, here's a hint, this ring might be better.
Yeah.
But that's why you wouldn't always just like pick your maximum ring.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I've got equal numbers for Earth and Fire, but like you said, Fire is kind of bombastic.
Fire is kind of bombastic.
And
I'm not questioning
No,
your
no.
specific choice
No,
or
for
anything.
sure.
I think Earth is patient, Earth is kind of taking your time, and I think that that's fine.
Yeah, and I figure like for something like this, while I am a very impatient person, I feel like this would be one of those moments like the hunt might be on.
Yes. And as soon as you've like made that decision, then you're kind of
Hey!
Jeez, you're killing it.
wow, that's really good.
Get good, Ritter.
So you're gonna keep your 3 successes.
I will.
Okay, you're gonna suffer 2 strife.
Okay.
Why is this making you feel not very good?
I think, so as I'm picturing this scene in my head, I think this is a moment of like, I think I am suspicious that there's blood magic here. There's a lot of people who have gone missing, like nobody's coming back. The Lord has gone to investigate. Nobody seems to be questioning it. There's like just a lot of these kind of very dark theories bouncing around in my head. And I've got under like part of my personality, I say like my character chews on his tongue while he's nervous. So I see like that in my head as well, just kind of like biting down with his back teeth, like thinking.
Maybe you are startled when this one trips a little bit. You bite your tongue.
Yeah, I like that.
A paranoid crab. Well, who could have guessed?
I mean, if you had to deal with the Shadowlands, you'd be prepared to.
I delegate that
We
kind
hear
of
from
thing.
the
Go,
hear
go
from
on.
the ether, like
That's what the Yogo is for. Okay, so you are both sneaking around the side of the building, and you're leading, and you're being pretty quiet.
the Nizumi are impressed by how stealthy I am.
The Nizumi, yes, some of my favorite characters. Anyway, besides the unicorn, you actually trip on a gardening implement that you hadn't seen in the darkness.
Please tell me it was a rake.
It was totally a rake, and then you kind of stumble. You stumble backwards, and then you kind of like are moving forward, but you're not paying attention because your face hurts, and then you bump into him, and he bites his tongue, and it's just like you're all. It's a moment of intense comedic discomfort, but you stop for a moment. You don't seem to have drawn any attention to yourselves. Everyone seems to be sleeping or something. You get around to the side of this building, and on one side there's a shuttered window, but it shutters from like you can just like open it. It's it's probably not latched or anything. Do you want to open the window or do you want to go to the front door?
Well, that's not like the most obvious way.
Yeah, we'll just kick in the door. No, I'll open the window.
Okay,
subtly,
you
as
open the
best
window.
we
It
can.
actually is latched a little bit, but you're able to just kind of like very easily like go and like
Okay.
just to keep it from. You open it up, and you get there's a sudden smell that just kind of hits both of you.
Wait, is it good?
It smells like fermenting rice.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if that's good or not.
No, that's not bad.
Okay.
It's their brewery.
Yeah, it's a noticeable smell.
You do both know that's how you get sake. So this might be where they brew the sake. You don't see anyone in there, but it is a really big building.
Okay. I would like to. Would this be an opportunity where I could use my keen hearing?
Yes, you can. That's an advantage, so you actually usually use that when you make a roll.
Oh, sure.
So
Could I roll
yes,
to see if I
you
hear?
can. Go ahead and make a roll. We are going to probably say. So perception checks are a little bit different in this. You kind of just base it off of like what situation that you're in. So for this one, it might be like a commerce check or like because you're kind of in a sake area. I guess it could also be skullduggery if you want.
I
You
would
kind of
like
get
to
to choose.
pick skullduggery.
Sure.
Can I give you a ranked assist then? Because I have a skullduggery?
Yeah, and you can actually help people even if you don't have a skill point in it. So how assistance works, and we'll explain this right now. So you're gonna gather up your pool of dice for skullduggery. Void might be a good choice, but you can kind of pick whatever ring you want.
Oh, okay.
If you are skilled in whatever the skill is being used, then you add a white die to their check, and then they get to keep an extra die on that check. If you're not skilled, but you are helping, you add a black die instead. You usually have to explain how you're helping, but I think in this time you're just kind of like keeping an ear out too. I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you get to keep more too?
You get to keep it one additional.
Oh,
Yep.
hoo-hoo.
So with the keen hearing, it uses the example of air for the ring.
Yes.
Do I have to use air?
You don't have to use it.
Oh, okay.
You're
Awesome.
okay. For the advantages and disadvantages, there's usually a ring associated with it. That's more of a guidance, so people kind of like know, okay, these are kind of the checks that are usually used for it, but you don't, it's guidance. It's not like a hard and fast rule.
Okay.
I, as a GM, am a little more flexible with that kind of thing too, so some GMs might be like, nope, you gotta do this, but nah, you're fine. Whatever's fun, really.
Okay. And then it says you may re-roll up to 2 dice.
Yes, so you'll compile all your dice.
All right, so that's
our
my
step
3.
1, and then you get 1 additional white die.
Beautiful.
So then you will roll.
What's your ring rank?
2.
And what are
Which
you
one are
trying to
you
hit?
using?
Void.
Void, yes.
Yes.
That's kind of
Oh
a
no.
sense.
Okay. Well, I
That's
got
okay. So
1.
now you get to choose 2 of those dice to re-roll.
I will re-roll these 2.
Nice, nice.
I'll set these off to the
Yes.
side for a moment. Oh, I got away from me.
It's okay. Look at that.
Hey. All right.
How many
That's not
successes did you need?
2.
bad. 2.
2.
I will take these 2.
You can keep 3.
And I will use this to wipe out that
Is there
strife.
advantages to keep to getting more and more bonuses, successes on checks?
Yes, certain checks you might be. So, like I guess the more obvious thing is you'll be more successful. So maybe I'll give you more information on attack checks, for example. For each bonus success you have, you actually do more damage. For certain abilities, it just compounds effects, that kind of thing. So yes, being super successful is. It's good, but it's also about picking and choosing too, because you don't want to like use all your resources on one check that doesn't matter that much. So it's a balancing act. So you have succeeded, just flat success. So you're both kind of, it's very quiet. You're listening, and you can actually hear the sound of something being dragged across dirt inside.
That's
And
not
it
nice.
is like 11:30, and it's just
It's
this
the rice,
sound
it's
of like
dragging itself.
it's like something is being like drug and then stops, drug, and stops, drug and then stops, and after about 30 seconds, you don't hear it anymore. And this is happening from about the middle of the building, but you're on like one side, so it's not that far away.
Okay.
Do you think we should call for backup?
I
Or should we fully assess the situation first?
I think we're gonna
Snoring
need backup.
peacefully.
It could just be a worker or someone sneaking around. That's why I'm like, should we figure out what it is first?
That's true. Why don't?
Or one of us could figure it out and one of us go back?
I like that.
Okay.
If you, since you have already taken a rake to the face, why
Yes.
don't you grab backup and
Alright.
I'll investigate. And if it's nothing, I'll hop out and let you know right away.
Would you like me to detect if there's any spirits before I leave?
Please.
All right. So
Spirits.
I'm gonna use Earth, and I have 1 rank in Theology, and I would need to get 1 success here.
And which ring are you using?
Earth.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, Ritter.
Rolls are not with me.
Oh no.
How many blanks are on these white dice?
The white dice are better.
All right. Yep. Don't detect much in here.
Don't detect much. The spirits are still just quiet.
Can I keep this one to heal a strife?
Yeah.
Any check? So I'll do that.
So you don't detect anything. You're gonna go back. We have a thing. Let's see. I actually have to make a secret check. Not like, I'm gonna roll in front, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna tell you what it's for.
Okay.
But I do need to know
stuff out of
what
the
your vigilance score is.
My vigilance is?
Yes, I do.
3.
I'm gonna
Okay.
catch someone trying to kill
All right. Do you round up or down when you're dividing by 2 here?
Round up.
Okay, 3. That's what I thought.
Okie doke. I get to roll 2 black dice for what I am doing.
Okay.
And you said it was 2?
3.
3. Okay.
Vigilance 3.
You, in your seasoned nature, you're used to kind of like, even when you're sleeping, kind of like keeping one eye open, that kind of thing.
Yes.
We're so lucky.
It's fortunate.
So
all of us can.
you hear the door to this building open. I don't know
Okay.
whether or not you would think it was these two, because I don't know if you know that
Can
they
I-
left.
Can I?
It's very dark.
Can I see the door from where I'm? Is it just too dark to
It's
see
too
anything?
dark, but you heard it open. You heard it kind of scrape against the ground. And you can see, so you can see about like 5 feet in front of you. You can see your companions don't seem to be here.
Okay.
Well, though, sorry, Sayaka is.
Right. Yeah.
She's
obviously.
there.
We all know where she is. Do I have my weapons with me as
Yeah.
I'm here sleeping?
Yes.
I assume so. Okay.
Yes, you are not wearing armor though. You don't sleep in armor.
Right. I'm going to lay still as if asleep, but I am gonna like do the samurai thing with my wakizashi and like do the thumb and like just pop it open like an inch.
Lore fact: wakizashi is it's like a short sword.
Yeah.
But the important part of the wakizashi is it is basically your samurai ID. It identifies like what family you're from, what clan you're from, and it identifies you as a samurai. So it's pretty important to have. And courtiers and shugenja are the ones that are more likely to fight with them, just because they might not have as much experience with other weapons. So, anywho, so you kind of have like that ready.
Yep.
And so you're walking back around, right? Okay, so you get around to the side of the building. You actually see that the door is open.
Ooh.
Yes, and you're going like deeper into this building. Are you jumping through the window? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna roll for initiative.
All right.
Cool. So this is going to be a skirmish because there are multiple combatants. There are 4 types of conflicts that are in this game. So we have intrigue, which is like a social conflict. We have a duel, which is one-on-one. That's what it sounds like. We have a skirmish, which is multiple people, and then mass battles, which are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people.
Probably won't be doing that, I assume.
So what you're going to do is you're all going to roll a TN1 tactics check. You're going to choose whatever ring you want. You're going to be wanting to use the other side of your front sheet because that's your conflict mode. If you look at your rings there, it tells you what your different stances do.
I don't have any tactics.
It tells you what the different stances do. So the ring that you choose now does matter because the stances give you certain benefits. At the start of every turn after the first turn, you will be able to change your stance if you want to. But this first turn, whatever you choose now is what you're in.
That's really cool.
All
I
right.
like that a lot.
It gives a little more dynamic to conflicts. During your turn, also just so you know, you can move before or after you make an action. You can perform an action. And then change your stance. Those are kind of like the main things that you do on your turn.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to be in air stance because I'm hoping to like kind of trick if there is someone coming in to like jump me. I'm hoping to like get the upper hand and trick them in that way. So I'm in air stance. So that's
Okay.
3 days. Let's see. So that's an exploding success there. All right.
Nice.
Oh, I need my.
So I could keep all of these if I wanted
You
to.
don't, do you gain
right?
strife from this?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
There is, however,
You don't have
a
much
special
capacity, right?
table that is relevant for any of you that generate. So there's a bunch of like example opportunity tables in the back of the book that I find like exceptionally helpful, and I think people should use them.
Yeah.
So just for anybody that generates, these are some of the
I
things that
see.
you can do with your opportunity on initiative checks specifically.
Ah,
Remember, you can always ask your GM to do something different. Opportunity is very flexible. These are always just here,
Sure.
some things. You
So
don't
could
have to think
I,
about it.
even though I don't really know like what's going on, could I assess a foe's weakness with this opportunity, or is that like in this moment I am like kind of
So
recognizing?
I'm gonna put the
you
book so they can see it.
are listening, and you're a pretty keen observer, actually, and you can do that.
Okay.
You hear that the foe sounds like they're walking with a limp.
Interesting.
good
All
to
right.
know.
So I got
Like it's an uneven.
so I got
Or
3
undead.
successes,
So 3 successes, and how many
3 strife.
opportunity?
Oh, 1, which I used to
Yes.
learn about their limp.
Okay. Let's have you roll there, Miss Yogo.
I'm thinking I want to do water stance because I can perform more actions with
Oh,
it.
cool.
Maybe
That don't require checks.
that don't require checks.
Don't require checks.
Got that exploding success.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to keep getting strife, especially now we're going into combat. I think I'm fine. I'll take a. So are we using vigilance to add to this total?
So you're using vigilance. You're kind of already prepped, so you're actually using
Focus.
focus. Sorry.
I'm gonna
You're
keep-
also adding your vigilance value to this number that you got.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
So my
I'm not
number
going to
was
keep any of these.
Your number was 3.
plus 3 for vigilance, so 6 total.
6. Yes.
I'm not going to keep these. I'm going to just be at 3.
Okay. 3 total?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you have like a really low vigilance, don't you?
Yeah, I have 2.
I also have a very low vision.
Yeah. I'm getting nervous about you getting striped out.
No, I'm fine.
That's fine. It's fine. I'll just.
6. Only 6.
In battle, there are many opportunities to unmask. In battle.
So then you're going to roll?
Yeah, and I am going to do the fire stance because.
Go ahead.
Oh, sure. Because you said it would be a tactics roll, and the
Yes.
the titles for the approaches says overwhelm,
Overwhelm,
for fire. So I feel
yes.
like that's what I would want to do here.
Yes. Something that'll be useful
Nate,
for the
you're on
purposes of this
fire.
combat.
Literally.
So we
Hey.
are, most of us, well,
get
not
it
me, but 2 of our players are fairly new players. So we're actually going to turn to, if one of you could have a book up into 262, it tells you different kinds of actions you can take in skirmishes, and I think that'll be a pretty helpful set of things to look at.
All right, we got it.
And it goes on to the next page
Okay.
too. These are just different things. The most common thing that you're probably going to do is going to be strike,
Yeah.
which is hitting people. So what did you get total? You're adding your focus.
Oh, my focus. Oh wow, that's pretty good. I've got a focus of 4, so I've got a success, an exploding success, and I rolled that die, and that was the opportunity in strife.
Do you want to keep this? You don't have to. If
I
this
do
is your
not think
extra.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll use that to wash out the strife before
Okay,
combat.
so you've got a total of 2 plus
4, so
4.
6.
6. Cool. I think we break ties via honor. Lowest honor. So which one of you has the lower honor? You two, actually.
Oh, us two?
Yes.
My honor is 30.
Oh, my honor is 45.
Okay, so you're going to be going first.
I'm going to be going first?
Yes, lowest honor goes first
Yeah,
because
that-
the honorable person takes a step
That-
back
that,
at the time.
It makes sense.
Okay. Excellent. So you are just kind of lying in wait.
Yeah. Can I like hold my action to a certain point, basically? Like.
Yes. So you can push yourself further in the initiative order, but then it's permanent.
That's fine. So basically, what I would like, can I like then? I'm
You'll
not
just
sure how
act
the
a
rules
little
work.
bit. You'll
Can
just
I
act a
can
little
I
bit
like interpose someone's action? Like when they're about to do this, I come in and do this.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
You can be like, I'm
Awesome.
actually gonna act now because you had the priority and basically you're like pausing the priority and then you're like, okay, actually I'm gonna act.
Okay.
But you have to do it before they do something. So it's like
Perfect.
they're about to do this and you're like, actually I'm gonna step in and
So basically,
now.
I'm gonna, just sort of like lay here, lay still, and when when an enemy is going to like attack me or like
Comes into your sight,
grab
perhaps,
me,
do something
come
that's-
within range, then I will like slash out with my wakizashi.
excellent.
that's what I'm
So
doing.
it's actually going to Aki now. So do you have your Tetsubo like pulled out yet, or are you still sneaking?
I was just gonna ask you, do you think I would have brought that? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I imagine
okay.
that you would have brought your weapon.
okay, for sure.
If you're gonna go sneak around and you're suspicious of things, especially if you're suspicious of blood magic, I don't know why your character wouldn't.
Perfect.
It's also totally normal for samurai to just carry their stuff around with
Sure,
them.
yeah, that's kinda what I
unless you are in a lord's castle, in which case there are etiquette rules. Anyway.
That makes sense as well. Yeah, I figured
so
I would
are
have
you
that.
are you still just sneaking around because you're not aware that there's anything wrong at the moment?
Right. I think I might ready. Like, would it be okay to ready
Yep.
the
So
weapon?
you pull out your Tetsubo. Okay. And are you moving a little bit deeper into the?
Yeah, I want to see where the noise came from, but I don't want anyone to know that I know yet,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yes. So you are approaching very quietly. I'm not going to make you do another skullduggery check.
Okay.
I think we've established that you're pretty sneaky right now. And you're kind of moving through. There's a lot of barrels. There's also a lot of vats in here that are covered up just for like fermentation process and whatnot. And you're walking forward and you're getting to about the middle of this long building. You can see that there's like the door over there. And you can only see about 5 feet in front of you. It's pretty dark, but your eyes have adjusted just a little bit. And you step forward and you hear a squelching sound with your keen hearing under your foot. Do you look down?
I look down.
You look down and there is a puddle of blood.
I
And
knew
there
it.
are drag marks that lead behind a set of barrels. But that's your turn. 'Cause
Oh,
you've pulled your weapon and you've moved forward. But you don't see anyone.
Squelch is never a good sound.
No, it's not. Haruko?
Yeah.
All right, so I am going to try to detect
Spirit.
spirits again and see if I can roll.
I will
a
detect
not
these
ver-
spirits!
So I'm gonna do earth I'm in water. So I do water, or can I switch the game I turn always?
Not the first turn.
Not the
You do
first turn.
so the first turn it's whatever you roll for your initiative.
And then theology.
So just a reminder, on your turn, you can do a maneuver to move around either before or after your action. You can perform an action. You can also do like talking as a free action, so you can say something that's around is 10 seconds approximately.
I realize part of the problem. I think I was only rolling one white die when I shouldn't roll two theology. But let's see here.
Oh,
Oh gosh, that's two.
Hey,
Are you sure you're a Shigenja?
It's target 1, so it's fine. I got my target 1.
You know, you said you wanted to play on a difficult, like you wanted to play hard mode with all of these disadvantages.
We haven't even gotten to most of the disadvantages. Is the thing.
I'm gonna
Oh,
use
boy.
this to assess the terrain qualities around the building.
Sure.
Okay. There are no special terrain qualities.
All right.
It's just regular old. It's just regular old ground. There isn't any like.
Sorry. Actually, I shouldn't have said that. I forgot that I don't get these things. I have to spend opportunity to learn these things. Is it okay if I rewind that back since I know I can?
Sure. I thought you were spending your opportunity to do it.
No. So I need to get a target 1 theology check to detect a spirit,
Yes.
and then
we
I
did
can
that.
use this to either learn a fact of the spirit. Or a spirit will deliver a gift if I detect it. I can attempt to ask the gift from.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah,
But,
it's very obvious that
so-
there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the ground, so I'll just give you that one for free.
So, is there any spirits?
Yes, there are kind of the spirits that you sensed before. You can sense there's probably like 3 of them. They seem to be like local kami, local
Okay.
elemental spirits. Just
Nothing
kind of
dark
hang
from
around.
in the house, though.
You do not sense any dark spirits from inside the house.
Okay. All
Specifically.
right. Then I'm just gonna use this
Don't worry
to
about
heal a strife.
Okay.
Or if in water, it's 2, right? If I want to use this, it's 2 in water instead of 1.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so I'm full up on my composure.
Yes,
again.
it is. I have a. By the way, again, I mentioned this Tuesday. GM screen, very nice. Has so many useful things in it.
All right. And then I'm just gonna use, so I can do 2
You can-
actions that don't require checks.
Yeah.
So that's moving a range band. Is that 1?
Yes.
And 2, I'm gonna pretend I don't know what's going on with you, and I'm gonna yell out your name, which was
Kyobu.
Kyogu or Kyobu?
Kyobu.
Okay.
Kyobu.
Kyobu, are you there? That's
So
what I'm
you
doing,
move
actually.
in. You move in to the place, and
Oh,
you
I go
just,
inside?
Well, I thought that's what you were doing. You said you were
Okay,
moving in.
yeah, if I
You were
go
like right there.
inside,
Yeah,
yeah.
You just move inside, and you see that there is a person standing there, and they seem to have a hoe in their hand. And then you say Kyobu.
Yeah.
Like you're like alerting. So you've been
Yeah.
alerted. Are you gonna do something?
Am I close enough to strike this person?
You would have to get up and move.
But I could do that?
Yes, you could do that.
Okay, yes, I will do that. I will pop up and
You
slash.
pop up, spin around, and you make a strike action.
Yeah.
So a strike action, I believe, is a TN to appropriate martial arts check.
Yep. So I'm gonna say that I'm using the air ring since I'm doing this from sneakiness.
Sneaky.
But I have no skill in martial arts,
Do you get
at
any
least
ad-
from a ranged
Do you get
perspective.
any advantage, like for either surprise or like they're distracted? How does that? Is there?
Since they're distracted, I will allow you to claim assistance
Okay, so
if you'd like to.
And
Assistance
unskilled
from you.
if it's martial arts.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes, so
black.
you
That's
get
easy
one
to keep
additional
one there.
black. So you get to keep an additional one.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's fine. That's
And
good.
this is another really important part of the system is as players you should always be asking if you can do things because the GM is not going to be able to like remember every single like thing that you have. Just always ask. That's always fine.
All right, so I got the 2 successes with a strife.
ring are you
I have this
in?
opportunity. I'm in air.
The stabby ring.
Let's see. Do I want that opportunity?
I need my profile back.
I'm gonna say, all right, here we go. Let's see. I will say, sure. I will spend it to. No, I'm not gonna keep that. I don't want the strife.
No.
We're just doing the successes.
Yeah.
2 successes, 1 strife.
Getting up there a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just
We're
calling
fine.
you
I can help you calm down.
I have a
We're fine. I just need to
suggestion.
provoke someone.
Suggestion for your strife is you got up really fast and your back. Ow.
Ooh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah.
So Kyobu has a fractured spine,
It's true.
which isn't literally fractured, but it
No.
is an old spinal injury.
It's symbolic of me being old.
I remember we have void points we can spend too.
Yeah.
I keep
Just
forgetting.
All right.
yep.
All right, so I got the successes. I got the required
Okay.
successes.
So you didn't get any pass, so you're gonna deal damage equal to your weapon's damage.
Yep, 3.
Okay, so you deal 3 damage to this person. You strike them
Oh,
with your wakizashi.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Hold on. So how damage works. So this is a good time to explain that. So you have like composure. I explained like kind of strife. That's like you feeling things, kind of social damage. Endurance is the statistic that deals with your ability to dodge strikes. So because we're kind of in like a feudal fantasy Japan sort of setting, if you get struck with something, if you actually get hit with something, you're not going to do well. There's not a ton you can do if somebody slashes you across the chest with a sword. There is no modern medicine. So your endurance represents your ability to defend against damage and dodge out of the way. So as you are defending against damage and doing all these dodges, you're going to suffer fatigue, which is you just moving around and getting out of the way. It's not actually you like getting hit, it's you avoiding that.
Yeah.
If you get to the point where you cannot take any more fatigue, your fatigue is up to your endurance level, you will become unconscious and you will take a critical strike, which can kill you. But they vary in severity, and there's like special checks you do that if you get to that point. Basically, it's not good. So try to manage your fatigue if you can. There is an action which is, I think it's called Catch Your Breath, which gives you back 1 strife and 1 fatigue as a skirmish ability. That is very useful. Keep it in mind. Anyway, so you've slashed out at this person, and they just barely like move out of the way of your katana swing, but they are suffering fatigue for that. They suffered 3 fatigue.
Yes, yes, they did.
Now that they're right in front of you, you're both kind of flanking this person. It is a peasant. It is a middle-aged peasant man, and he is holding a garden implement in his hand. He's holding a hoe that's rather sharp, actually, and he looks like his intentions was to go over and
like bash my head in
to bop you with it. It's pretty sharp, so. And that is all the information you get because you would need to make a check to learn other things.
Is Sayaki still sleeping? Or is she like groggily waking up?
Sayaka does wake up, actually. She kind of like wakes up and like, does this thing, and she just, oh crap! And she stands up and she actually pulls out her wakizashi. But that is her pulling something out and standing up, so she can't actually do anything that turn. But you do have an ally, and she is going to act at the end of your turn every round.
Okay.
Cool. So that was Kiyobu. Then we're going to go back. It's the peasant's turn. The peasant gets to roll. The peasant's not good at things. So the peasant is actually going to try to strike you with their. Yes, because you're right in front of them.
Yep.
They did good. Oh, yeah.
Wait, the TN is increased by 1 because I'm an heir.
Oh,
Nice.
so they failed. So that's the important part of stances. You always want to make sure that you're paying attention to stances, and the stances are described on like the other side of your character sheet just for easy reference. So normally the peasant would only need a 2, which is really hard to get, and they got it, but now they don't succeed, and they actually suffer a strife. But it is a close call.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's the peasant's turn, and now we're gonna go back to Hiriko.
Okay.
So it goes Hiriko, you. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
No,
that's.
I mean, he goes before.
Do you
Hiriko.
go behind?
Yeah, he
Oh
was
yeah, you're
tied
right.
with
Okay, it's your
me.
turn. Sorry.
I
No,
just-
that's okay.
You messed up the order of it.
I was last, but you stepped in, right? That's what's going on?
Right,
Yes.
I'm behind you now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay,
Okay.
wrote it down.
So, weapon ready, foot squelching.
But yeah, you've stepped in it, and now you've got blood on your shoe.
Okay.
Yucky.
And you said that I continue to hear like the sounds of somebody moving around.
It stopped.
Okay.
The blood trail leads behind some of the barrels, though.
I'm going to look behind the barrel.
So you're gonna
Do you want a
use
ready
your
weapon?
already
it's
has
already
a ready
out.
Okay.
weapon.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
like
he
up
did
over
last
the
time.
I should have
shoulder.
known you're always ready.
Yeah.
Always ready.
Kind of leaning in
you,
like that.
Peek. You take a look behind the barrels with your movement action, and there is a body there. There is a body of the old woman.
No!
I was wrong to suspect her.
And it's actually very grotesque. She's been cut up her stomach.
Oh, man.
It's not very good. There's a lot of blood. But you see no sign of an assailant.
Uh-oh.
They're always behind you.
Yeah, always.
Just strike
That's
directly
what
behind
the
you.
voices say.
So I am having all of my enemies go on the same turn just for like ease of this. So I did roll for a peasant, but whoever was doing this stuff They did things. They just didn't have to roll for anything.
Sure. Okay. So let's see. Can I do a check to see like what's around me? Try to get a lay of the land, like where they might have gone. Maybe see
Yeah,
if there's some bloody
that would be. Yep,
footprints.
you're investigating.
Yes.
So you could do survival. You could do skullduggery. You could do a medicine check.
Oh, sure.
Because there's blood involved.
Yeah, I will. I will do a avoid medicine check.
Avoid medicine check. So
Yeah.
you're sensing.
So that gives me 2 for the ring, 1 for the rank.
Yes. And you're rolling in the ring that you were in, right?
Oh.
You actually had the opportunity to change your ring as well because it's a second round.
Okay.
So
Well,
at the start of your turn, you could change your ring if you wanted to. Your
Sure.
stance.
Yeah, since I didn't go into combat, I feel like I would change
Okay.
to like get a better sense of things.
So are you switching to void or?
Yeah, I
Okay, so
would.
you
I
switch to
feel like
void. So
that
now you're in
fits.
void stance.
If that's
and then
fair.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
I just forgot to mention it, so that's on me. That's not on you guys. Cool. So you've rolled.
I've rolled these 2.
The TN is 2.
Okay, perfect.
Void
Oh,
keeps
cool.
you from receiving the strife.
Yes, you don't receive strife if
Super
you're in
glad I
void
picked
stance. Yes, the stances are really useful. Excellent. So you succeed, and your eyes have adjusted pretty well at this point. Like
Okay.
you've been. I mean, you're also used to like hanging out in the Shadowlands.
Right. Goblins.
And you also have a pretty good sense of hearing. So you actually like look on the ground and you notice that there are footprints. They seem to be human-made footprints that are walking away from the body. Are you following that?
I think I would.
Okay, you're kind of like looking around, and you actually notice that there is a discarded knife on the ground that's very bloodied.
Okay.
And then you notice that, kind of obscured by one of the barrels in one of in the back wall that faces the building that they're in, there is a little door, and the little door is open.
I'm glad I'm not in that warehouse.
You do get
it's
it.
coming
The
into all
door
rooms
seems
as
to
it's
be
happening.
attached to that building though. So
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
because they're like right up against each other.
Sure.
Okay, so that is what you have
Okay.
discovered. Also, you succeeded. She did not die that long ago.
Oh, okay.
Like it was pretty recent.
Like it's warm. Like
Like
maybe
it's
some
like there's still
heat.
blood coming out.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it's
man.
recent. She's got this like dead like fisheye look going on. It's very sad.
I love this.
And you
world.
never
seen
even asked her name.
Rip old lady.
Rip old lady.
I close her eyes as I pass.
Oh,
No.
bless your heart. Okay.
Touch a corpse.
Yeah, that is
That's
actually.
not the grossest thing that I've had to deal with.
If anyone else had been in the room, I would have asked you to forfeit something in order to touch a corpse, because touching corpses are actually super taboo. But since nobody's around,
Yeah.
we'll just kind of.
Yeah.
I would have totally reported you.
I would have mocked you relentlessly for it.
Touching the dead is considered spiritually unclean, and that is why they make peasants do it, which is tragic.
This guy we're about to beat up.
So that was Aki. Hiriko,
Oh yeah.
are you gonna
I
send
am
spirits
switching to-
again?
No, not this time. I'm switching to Earth stance, and I am going to use Grasp of Earth to hold this peasant in place by having spirits reach up from the ground and hold up.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah. So earlier with my school ability, it allowed me to prepare. What was that again? What we rolled before? the
Yeah,
session?
so it's already prepared. So
Okay.
you can just use it.
Oh, cool.
You can just use the check that you've already made for it.
Okay, but I only rolled one success on that check, and this is a target 2, so I just can't
Okay.
use it.
You can use it. Did you get
That was a
opportunity
bonus
on it?
success, I think.
Oh, that
I
was a
guess.
bonus success. Yeah,
Yeah.
you won over success on both
Okay,
of them.
so I'm going to use that now.
Okay. So Ryan prepared invocations ahead of time, and his school allows him to actually prepare 2. Normally, you can only prepare 1. You can also attach them to things to make them wards and set triggers for them. So if you were like camping, you could put a ward on the ground, and it would trigger if someone tried to do, bad stuff to you.
You know, maybe we should have done that before we went to bed.
You were busy.
You guys didn't go to bed.
So normally the peasant would suffer 3 supernatural damage, but I'm going to use the opportunity roll I was preparing to say that he suffers no damage. And I'm going to talk with him as my free action and just be like, stop, you've lost this battle. What is up with your treachery?
So you are standing behind this peasant. So you're like speaking to the back of their head, and you're standing right in front. The peasant doesn't say anything, but you notice that the peasant's head kind of like lolls to the side, and their eyes are open, but they're very glassy. They don't seem to be really like registering what you're saying.
I noticed that. He doesn't notice that.
You notice the head lolling.
Okay.
But you notice like the glassy-eyed thing in response to that.
Oh, it could be.
Man, why'd you have to talk to the peasant? I was just gonna like cut its throat.
Are you gonna
Well, I
move?
mean, we don't need.
Are you gonna move or?
If
You
you
don't have
tried to attack a samurai, I absolutely do need to move. Right?
I can also move.
Yeah, you can also move.
All right, I'm gonna move between the peasant and the rest of the party in the room.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go to Kyobu.
All right, so you're in the way now.
Yeah, and also they can't move at all unless they pass a check. So
That's
it's not
good.
like there's an imminent threat.
Yeah, that's good. You held them down.
You are,
Okay.
however, currently in range of them, so they could just like swing at you, right? They just can't like move
I'm
forward.
gonna move out of range again
Okay.
instead of
You're in range currently.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in range.
There are no attacks of opportunity in this system, so you don't have to like worry about I'm moving out of there. Yeah.
There's no
that
way this
doesn't
character's
exist.
moving. I'm gonna say that.
Probably not.
I'm pretty sure that I don't care, and I'm just gonna like take a swing at them.
You're gonna take a swing at them.
Do
Okay.
you say anything before you do?
You're gonna wait for an answer.
They didn't answer.
Oh, I thought they had to wait. They don't have to wait.
Their
their turn.
head,
'Cause,
no, they can, no,
they
can
would've
speak
been able
back
to
you.
speak.
Yeah,
Okay.
they would have been able to speak. So basically, you can speak out of turn, but you have to keep what you're saying within like, what could you say in 10 seconds?
Okay.
Right.
Just don't abuse it, basically.
Because, like, I'm trying to decide if, like, it seems like there's something weird going on, but I don't have any, like, theology ranks or anything. I don't know. Is there, I wouldn't have, like, a knowledge of what's going on. Like, this is not, like, a relatively common thing that I would have experienced.
No, but you definitely don't, like, just based on what you're saying, this is not how a peasant should be acting. Something's wrong. You
with
just
the
don't know
eyes.
what's wrong.
I can use my
Yeah.
Jade Strike next turn to strike the
Punch the
spirit. That's not having it.
You can make
Punch
a
the
theology
evil out
check,
of 'em.
or you can make
No.
you
And
can
I
make a
can
sentiment check too. I
And
don't
I
know
can
if you're any good
assist
at
in
that.
it.
I do have a skill in that, or rank in that. I'm going to actually, all right, so seeing as this one is currently incapacitated, I'm going to first look around and see if there are any other assailants.
Okay, so you're gonna take a real good look around with your
Yep,
action.
I'm gonna check the room. Yep.
Okay, so you're gonna make a check for me. Let's do. Analyze. Maybe let's do a sentiment check. Yeah, let's
Okay.
just do a sentiment check.
All right.
You check in the room.
All right. So I'm still in air, I think, as I analyze what is going on around here. So let's see here. All right. Lots of stuff.
The TN is 2.
What skill did you use?
Sentiment.
Sentiment.
Oh, I can assist you.
We would have had to already do that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we have some
Okay.
similar skills. I can always assist.
Yes. Okay. Well, I can't pass this with what I have there.
So what would
I'm
you like
just-
to keep?
Probably none of it,
Yeah.
since it
Okay.
all comes with strife. So yeah, I'm just gonna. Nah.
Take a look around, and your eyes have just not adjusted to this room.
Yeah.
So you like look around, and you can see that she's standing up, and Sayaka's standing up to like come over to help you, but you're just it's just shadows. Yep.
Okay,
That's it.
so
Are you
put
gonna
your
move?
glasses
As,
on.
as she's standing up, can I be like, so good of you to join us, Yasuki Sayaka?
She gives you kind of a kind of a roguish smile in that moment, which is not what samurai normally do, kind of like sheepish a little bit there. And she says, of course. And she's like pulling out her wakizashi, not quite like in that moment comprehending that like the person's incapacitated. She's just like, I'm ready.
Yeah, I was hoping to get a rise out of her so I could heal some strife.
To heal
with
some
provocation,
strife?
but
No,
all right.
she's not. She's not taking the bait.
She's chill.
This
Okay.
one takes the bait.
Yeah, I know. I need him to get back in here so I can mock him for something.
Mocking. Okay, cool. So
That's me.
Kyobu.
Yep.
It is time for her. So she's gonna move forward a little bit, and she's gonna say, "Should we strike the peasant?"
It seems like we haven't detected what it is, but it seems like this peasant is maybe under the control of somebody.
Let us see. So she's going to take her wakizashi, and she's going to.
Just kills him.
She's not doing an attack. She's just putting it up to the peasants, like right up to their throat, to try to get a rise out of them. So she's gonna make a roll for that.
Ooh.
She can do this.
Man.
Dang.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The TN was 2 once again. Okay. So she is able to kind of get a little bit of rise on them. She's going to suffer some strife, however, though.
No, I don't think so.
No, she cancels it out. Yep. Or she doesn't get a rise out of them. That's the weird thing. So she puts it up to their throat, and she's trying to get a rise out of them, and she says something very cutting, probably to the effect of, your sake tasted horrible. And the peasant, like, their head lolls to the side again, and in that process actually cuts their neck slightly, and they do not react to this. They're not, like, she's succeeded in the fact that she's succeeded in finding out that this is not, there's something so super wrong about this. And then she kind of pulls it away and says, oh, she doesn't put her sword away, but she says, something is definitely not right. I know few samurai that could act so stoic in such a situation.
Let alone a peasant.
It is the peasant's turn. What is the check to get out of
A target 4 fitness check.
it? Okay, I don't.
There's rings that are easier or harder. Do I reveal that?
They're gonna roll in Earth. They're just gonna roll in Earth.
All
They're
right.
not.
It's target 4 still.
They got it. 2. All right, they suffer strife. They're trying to like move and just kind of like.
Keep going like this and have the hands.
Something you did notice versus Sayaka's check is the peasant is bleeding. Like it's not like it's just nothing's coming out. They are bleeding,
Sure.
so they appear to be alive.
Okay.
So you have that information. Cool. That's the peasant can't do anything, and something else happens that I don't tell you about. Okay, Aki.
I'm going in the tunnel.
Okay, you crawl through the tunnel, and it actually is just like 4 foot long, just kind of like little pathway,
Okay.
and you pop up into that one other room that's in that building. You guys hadn't inspected it.
Yeah.
It appears to be a little workroom.
Okay.
Like there's a table, and you're actually popping out underneath the table.
Ooh.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Time to turn the tables.
The door to this room is also open.
Okay. Can I, before I barge in, can I quickly take a look around, maybe a skullduggery?
Sure. Yeah. What are you looking for?
I want to see where this murderer is.
Where the murderer
Yeah.
went? Sure.
I want to see if the bloody footprints continue along the same way.
Sure.
Maybe leads to yet another secret door.
Secret doors. That's actually this whole session. It's just
Let me think. What ring would I want to roll in? I feel right now he'd probably be like the excitement for like being on the chase, like running this person down, knowing that there is a guilty party at the end of this trail. I feel like that might be a fire.
yes.
Okay.
I totally agree.
Okay. So that'd be 3 for the ring, and then what did I say? Skullduggery?
Yes.
So that's 1 for the ability.
Okay. and
So
you
is
get to
Nate
take 3.
considered in combat or not?
Nate is acting in initiative order and might be in combat in a second.
right.
Just watch out.
So I've just got the 1, but 2 opportunities.
Are you in your fire ring? So did you change your stance to fire?
Oh.
It's okay.
I always keep forgetting to say that.
We're
I'm
trying to
sorry.
remember. It's okay. So you're in your fire ring.
You know what? Yeah, that's what I said before too. Is that for combat I would want to go the overwhelm route.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I feel
That
like
makes sense.
keeps-
And it's not
You
a.
rolled the right amount too, right? So it's fine.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
still a fire
Yeah.
ring.
So you have this is a TN2 again. So 1 success and 2 opportunity.
Okay.
Bummer.
With fire, you
see.
can be on guard, and characters get 2 strike to target you.
I like
That's
that.
the stance though, isn't it?
Oh,
Oh.
Isn't it?
No, the
Or no?
stance
Oh,
is a
stance
bonus
is the super
per each
success.
strife.
Okay, so people target you, they get strife. I think, right? Is
yeah,
that what you
2
said?
strike.
Cool.
Sure.
Do you
if
want
that's
to do
okay.
that?
Yeah,
that's
I'll
fine.
just do that. Is there something I could spend the opportunity to like see around the room?
If you spend both of your opportunity, you can notice something missing or out of place.
That's what I'd like to do.
There you go. That's perfect.
Okay, you notice something actually kind of weird is there is no chair in this room. The chair appears to be gone. The door appears to be
Chair's
open.
the
Oh my
killer.
gosh, Cher is murdering everyone.
And there's actually there's a couple of footprints, and then the reason why you aren't able to determine exactly where they went, though you could probably assume they left this room, is the blood has effectively like gotten off their shoes at this point, so it actually just stops. So they're not leading a trail anymore.
Interesting. Okay.
No chair.
It's a mimic. There's a mimic. The chair
Yes,
was a mimic.
Rokugan,
The
known
chair.
for their mimics.
Cher's rolling around, killing people.
Okay.
'Cause there's a tail
You
above
can.
you.
So I'm going to say that you can
Slack
actually use the rest of your movement to step out of this room if you'd like to.
Yeah, sure. I'll
Okay.
go.
table.
You step out of this room, and then I'm going to attack you.
Oh snap! You fell into her trap.
I did. I totally did. I literally walked into the trap.
I did it.
Oh man.
They suffer 1 strife. There is a peasant on the other side of this door, and they smack you with a chair. Well, they try to smack you with a chair. You stumble backwards to not be struck with the chair.
Do they say have a seat?
You are going to suffer 2 fatigue
Okay.
in your dodging out of the way of having a chair in your teeth.
So with the.
If you were like chewing your tongue at the time, it would have been really bad.
So do they suffer? Well, like.
Oh,
Rhea
do you
was
have
saying-
armor?
Oh.
That's actually relevant.
If I have
Do you have your clothing statted out?
I don't think so. I think
your
I've just
front.
got the regular sacred
Is it
robes.
sacred robes?
Yes.
I think that's
the
1
class.
physical.
I have 1 physical, 3 spiritual, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
So
I
you
have the
actually
same
negate one of those.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So don't
Perfect.
forget that your clothing usually gives you at least 1 physical resistance, and that allows you to negate fatigue that you would receive.
Okay.
Excellent. So that's situation. Now it's your turn.
Oh.
Oh no, you just did your
Yeah. I just
Haha.
did mine.
Yep.
Joking.
So Ritter.
Ritter.
Yeah.
Here it goes.
Is there a way we can incapacitate this peasant? I really don't want to just kill them for something I'm sure is not there.
Yeah, you can just spend your action knocking them out if you want. I
Yeah,
won't make you make a
I'll-
check for that or anything.
I'll do that.
They're
Like,
not
taking
currently
all
a
of
threat
your
to you.
guys'
You can
dice.
just kind of like bop them in
Can
the
I
head.
do it really cool and be like this? When they pass out?
You do that, it doesn't work, and then you smack him in the head or something.
I'm gonna snort at you.
You just bop him with your cane, just like, yeah.
Oh, crack.
You have incapacitated this peasant.
Okay.
You have actually also, both of you have heard the commotion that's happening not too far behind you. In that Aki probably makes a noise, I'm assuming.
Okay.
And there's you can hear a chair just whack against a wall.
Sounds like a chair.
It sounds like a
Oh
chair.
my gosh, that rogue chair
Oh
again.
no.
Okay.
Okay. So you have incapacitated 1 of the peasants, and there is currently 1 peasant. So it is. Are you moving towards the other peasant?
Oh, there's another one in here?
The one that just attacked.
Oh,
the
you're-
commotion that
okay,
you heard.
yeah.
The commotion that you're hearing. There's
Sure,
one
I'll
enemy.
attack the peasant.
Okay. So you've knocked the other peasant out as your action. Do you want to move up to the
Oh, sure.
peasant?
Yeah, I don't need to be within range though for any of my skills, so I'm just gonna stay range
Sure.
up.
Sure. Cool. Kiyobu.
All right. So, does the peasant have his back to me?
She doesn't. She's facing you. She was like around the side of the door, so she's kind of like facing you. She has this chair,
Okay.
and here's the door.
Okay, and Nate's kind of like off to one side a little bit.
Actually, inside, you had to like stumble back into that room that you were in, so you
Okay,
actually can't see Aki right now.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna, growl something like peasant scum, and then I'll like move forward and attack.
She is actually going to respond to you.
Oh, snap.
And she is going to call you a samurai bastard.
Ooh, all right, it's on.
That was a naughty word. Sorry, children.
Okay.
Samurai fiend. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
We'll fix that in post.
Yeah, post on the live
Beep.
stream.
Sorry.
Use
Okay.
a void point, man. Let's
You can use your void point if you want this.
Yeah,
if
sure, why not?
you're incensed by this.
Yeah.
What stance are you in?
Fire.
Fire.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
angry.
all fired up.
You're all fired up.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get to roll an extra black die since you used a void point.
Yep.
And the TN is 2 because it's a strike action.
Oh, well.
Hey.
All right. 2 successes.
So what is the damage of your weapon?
3.
3 damage on the weapon. Okay.
And I'm two-handing it, so its deadliness is more. I don't know if that matters.
Deadliness matters if you would surpass their endurance. That
Okay.
affects critical strikes.
I see. Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
And do you want a higher number for that, I assume?
Did you? Oh, the deadliness is there. Okay, never
Yep.
mind. Yeah. So the higher the deadliness, the more likely you are to kill them. For example, there's like checks involved with critical strikes. If you were to deal like 16 severity on a critical strike, you instantly kill someone.
Okay.
So 16 is like the upper limit. But there's also like swift death, agonizing death, maiming, blow, permanent injuries.
Sure.
There's
Nice,
there's
nice.
all sorts of unpleasant things that you can do to people. You strike at them and they stumble backwards and they spit in your face.
Oh, gross.
And she has this wild
peasant
look in
spit.
her eye. Like
Yeah.
she's like something's
So
also wrong with this one, but in a different way.
But in a different way.
But in a different way.
Okay.
Her hair is also kind of crazy. Like she's been doing something. There's actually like mats of blood in it, and kind of on her front too. She's got blood all over her hands. She's looked like she's been doing some stuff.
Looks like she's been murdering an old lady, potentially.
You just know in your heart it was the old woman.
The sake was so good.
Sake was
Though
so
I
good.
would not speak of it. It was the best I ever drank.
It was comforting. So you've struck at this person.
Yep.
So it is now the peasant's turn, and she's going to try to hit you with the chair.
Yeah.
Her favorite thing to do.
Come at me.
Oh man, I'm doing it, nailing it. So she's gonna deal 2 damage reduced by your armor.
I am wearing my traveling clothes, so physical 2.
Oh, you take nothing.
Yeah.
She kind of like hits you with it, and you're like, "Pfft."
Yeah.
Yeah, these
Stop it.
are-
The chair actually breaks, and now she has a sharpened chair leg in
Oh,
her
that's
hand.
probably worse.
A little bit dangerous.
Yep.
And she's almost like foaming at the mouth. She's so just like, there is like something rabid about this person.
Yeah.
This is not how peasants usually are.
Wait, what?
They're usually just people. Okay, cool. So that was the peasant's turn. It's now Aki's turn.
Okay. Since I have fallen back into the room, can I dramatically throw open the door to try and like knock this person off balance?
It opens towards you, unfortunately.
To surprisingly open the door.
Are you going to
Adjust the lens.
whack them with your tetsubo? Are you trying to kill them?
I think
What would your impatience
Yeah.
do?
my impatience.
Impulse.
So I feel like the plan would be go for the knees, like try to take her out at the legs, further questioning. Like if this doesn't work, if they're not cooperative, we'll make them.
So you're like going for a harder strike to make it non-lethal?
Because I don't know if this person is the blood mage.
Because I imagine it's
or-
much harder to hit someone's knee than like just hit their
Well,
core.
you know, just like the waist down.
Okay.
You know, that general.
Aiming for
chunk.
their legs?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're
sm-
trying not to immediately kill them.
Yeah.
We'll see if that works.
Yeah. We'll see. I
All right.
mean, we'll find out together.
Okay. So you're gonna roll your TN2 relevant martial arts check, which I
Okay.
believe is melee for the Tetsubo.
Yes. Let's see.
Melee.
And you know what? I'm just overwhelmed. I like
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Fire, fire.
There we go.
Boom.
Yeah, so what you see is you walk up to this person trying to slash at them, the door flings open and here's Aki. Like, how did you get in here?
Hey, and that's an
Nice.
exploding success.
Yep.
All right.
Nice.
Cool. So one
nice,
thing
nice.
is normally when there's an explosion, you have to choose which ones you want first,
Oh,
and then
sure.
and then during the modify step you do that. I just wanted to. You didn't know. I just wanted to do that for the people that are watching this stream. Usually you pick the dice you want to keep, and then you do the extra rolling and stuff.
Yeah.
So which of these do you want? We'll pretend you didn't see this.
Yeah, for sure. I would for sure pick the exploding with the strife, because since I'm in fire stance, you get a +1 bonus success per strife symbol.
Yes.
You need that normal success.
You need the normal success.
Yep. I'll take those two.
And then you get one more.
And then
which
I
that one would
probably
make the
just
most sense.
take that.
And then you probably want to keep that.
Yep. I'm happy with
So
that.
we have a total of 3 successes, 2 opportunity, and a strife. Do you want to use one of the opportunity to negate the strife?
No, I'd like to use the strife as a success. So
Oh, yes. Okay. You also still suffer it, though.
that's okay.
Okay, so you have 2 opportunity to spend. So you've actually, you deal damage +1 because you have a bonus success on this check.
Okay. So the damage is 7.
Okay, so we're going to go over how criticals work, friends.
Hey,
Cool.
so much for not killing anyone.
Let me,
I said try.
you have probably killed this person. Let me refresh myself on criticals. They failed to defend, so what is the deadliness of your weapon?
3.
Okay, well, I get to make so I'm making a TN1 fitness check to try to not die.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Why are you
probably
cheering
died
for this
anyway.
peasant?
I don't want them to die. It's not their fault. Reminds me of my family that
okay.
got taken over by spirits.
They're completely different.
So they did pass. So they reduced the severity. So what was your severity? Your deadliness?
7.
7.
Or,
okay.
deadliness is 3.
Deadliness. Okay, that's a little bit better.
Deadliness is 3.
So it ends up being she reduces it by 1 because she succeeded, and she would reduce it by 1 more for every bonus success that she has. So it is 2. Oh, plus crap. How many strife did you did 1 strife, right?
I did 1 strife and I used it.
Oh,
as
that's
a
for
success.
Maho. Never mind. Okay, cool. So she is taking a severity 2. If she was wearing, so she's unconscious.
Okay.
If she was wearing armor, it would gain the damage quality. That's all that happens. But she's not wearing armor. But she's very hurt and very unconscious. Very hurt and very unconscious.
But not like
She's not dead.
she's not like bleeding out or anything. She's not like.
Not that you can see. A lot of the damage was internal.
Did she get like clocked in the body?
Yeah, she got like clacked right in the center of the
Yeah,
chest.
yeah.
You might have broken a lot of things.
Way to aim for the legs.
Yeah, you know
It
what?
did not work.
I did great.
Hey, you know what? She deserved it.
You're no longer in combat.
I think, like, after I connect, I would yell out, like, this murder is, like, there's was it Maho or?
It's Maho.
Maho.
Maho is blood magic.
Yeah. This is a Maho. There's probably other here in the village. I've found one of their victims in the sake plant.
Who?
It's the old woman who led us here, who fed us, who sheltered us, who protected us.
You guys really care about peasants.
They cut her open like a fish. I will purge this village clean of this evil.
I am actually going to award you 1 glory for exhibiting the Bushido tenet of compassion.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like I mentioned last time on the stream, GMs can't just like ding you. So you have like 3 main statistics: status, glory, and honor. They can't just be like, oh, you lose honor, you lose glory. It's always a choice on the player's part. However, I can reward you with those things. So status, you're not usually going to be rewarded with, but honor and glory, yeah, that was a cool thing.
Oh, thank you.
It's very nice. You care about peasants, which is also distasteful, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
I hate you just a little bit more.
There's yeah. Anyway, okay, cool. But it was the old woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And more importantly,
So where's the victim?
She got thrown into a wall and is now unconscious.
No. I'm asking Aki,
gotcha,
where's
gotcha.
the one who got murdered?
yeah, I'd show them like back through the secret tunnel and like walking them through, just kind of explain like the blood path that I found and describe the scene before we get there.
It was very like It was a very gross scene that I'm not going to describe, but it was gross. She was cut up. Not good.
Can I do a skullduggery check to like investigate all around here and try and ascertain what
Yes.
was,
Are you investigating the old woman's body?
I would say the old woman's body and the knife.
Are you willing to crawl through the tunnel to do so? Or are you walking all the way
No,
around?
I'm walking all the way around. I'm
Just
like,
wanted to see.
okay, so you went through there, that connects. All right, I'm gonna walk outside
Okay,
now.
go ahead and perform your skullduggery check. What
right.
are you doing while he's doing this?
I'm gonna search for other peasants to see if they can secure these two, so we don't have to. The ones that we knocked out.
All right, let's see. So I can keep 3 of these. So that's gonna be that one and that
I will
one.
describe how that occurs in a second.
Holy moly, you got 2 exploding successes?
Yeah,
No.
I'm not gonna keep that one though.
No? Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So that's 3 successes and an
Oh,
opportunity.
it is the end of like that scene. So your composure level and fatigue will go down to half,
Okay. Rounding up?
rounding up.
Okay.
All right, so I have 2 strife now. Okay, so I got
3.
3.
It doesn't have the level you're at. It
That's
goes half to your composure.
Half your composure.
Yeah.
you
So
have
if your
3
composure
success.
if your composure is 6, then you go to 3.
Oh.
And
I
if
see.
you're
Yeah.
if you're already less than
But
that,
you
then
can
it.
use that to go down to 2 if you want.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yes.
Alright.
So you succeeded?
Yep,
Oh,
3
yes,
successes.
you succeeded.
Yes.
Okay, what are you trying to ascertain?
I'm trying to ascertain what happened around here. Like, I'm assuming it's pretty obvious that this woman was killed by the blood-stained person.
By the bloodstained person,
Yeah, but
yes.
what happened before that?
Okay, so you're kind of, I'm assuming at this point you've lit a lantern so you can see.
Yeah, or summoned a peasant holding a torch, more likely.
You are unable to summon a peasant right now, and I
Okay,
will
all
get
right.
to that in a second.
Okay, all right. I'm holding my own lantern.
You are looking around
a
on the
frickin'
ground,
plebeian.
and you find that the old woman, her name was Yuna, by the way. Old woman Yuna. Anyway, she was definitely drugged here, and you actually find the scene where you think the attack took place. It seemed to be like they were standing next to each other, and you don't know what they were doing, but then there was stabbing because there's like blood splatter all over the ground as if it was just like
Yeah.
and there's lots of blood, and then the dragging thing. So some sort of altercation. Because her staff is also there.
What's that scene like where that took place? Is that like outside of the brewery?
No, it's almost directly in front of the main door.
Okay. To the sake brewery.
To the sake brewery. Yes.
Okay.
So it happened like in the center of this building, and then she was drugged behind some barrels.
I see. So it is still inside the building. that she
Yes,
was
it is
at.
still
Okay.
inside the building.
All right. Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
You go to try to find some peasants to secure these two, and you do find peasants. Like you can like look through windows, you can like open up doors. I don't know. Do you knock on doors or you just open up doors?
Oh, I just opened them.
Okay, you just open them. You find that there
You
are
knock.
peasants, but they are all sleeping to the extent that you cannot wake them up.
Oh.
So like shouting at them, it doesn't. They just don't seem. They seem to be in some sort of deep slumber.
Is there a check I can use to figure out what is causing this?
That would be a theology check.
Alright. And would that be water then? Or am I like theorizing?
You can do either.
Alright.
You
Or I
you
can
can
sense.
survey,
I'll
sense,
use
theorize, analyze,
Sense what's wrong.
Yeah,
sense it. Oh, sorry.
you're fine.
I just wanted to clear the path.
I got 2 void points. Why not?
Yeah.
This does seem to matter.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time?
We have been going for about 2 hours at this point.
Okay.
So
So I can keep 2, but then since I went to void point, I can keep 3.
Yes, you can.
So 1, 2, 3. And then
black
I
dice.
have 2 more black dice.
Nice.
Okay. I don't have to keep bonus successes, yeah?
You don't have to.
So I'm not going to keep this one because it would just cancel itself out with my purposes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would take 2 strife, but I'm going to negate one of them with that. So I'm going to get 1 strife. And I have 2 successes, 2 bonus successes.
you have 3 strife
You actually
going
have 3
there.
Three
strife.
strife.
And 1
So
opportunity.
you take 2.
Okay.
And you got rid of that. Okay, so you have a lot of successes. Holy moly. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So you you sense the area, and you actually do a little communing with your spirits too in that way. And the spirits tell you that this definitely isn't natural, and you also notice that there is a smell in the air that you hadn't realized was there before. It was as if it was kind of hidden
By the rice smell.
by maybe.
Of the
It is the
distillery.
smell of iron and the smell of blood. And as you're investigating around and kind of like observing these bodies, you realize that all of the peasants that are in this slumber seem to be laying in beds of blood.
Oh, they're all
Man, oh
dead?
man.
They are not dead,
Oh.
but there is blood surrounding all of them.
Like a circle of blood, or?
It's like a pool of blood, as if somebody had blood
But
on
it's
the
not
bed.
their blood.
It doesn't appear to be.
Okay.
They appear to be like breathing.
They appear to be bleeding.
No breathing.
Breathing. That word.
I'm gonna attempt to roll one of the peasants off the blood, off the.
Okay.
Getting dirty.
You roll them off, and they don't respond to that. The blood is there, and in the center of the blood pool is a symbol. And the symbol is, you actually don't recognize what it is. It seems to be the symbol of some like house or faction or group or something, but you'd have to take a check to determine what that is.
Okay. Well,
Where are you? What are you doing?
So I was showing the others the scene of the crime, and then from there, after my partner has looked around and kind of gotten a feel for things, I feel like my impatience, I would just barge right out of there to see what was going on. I feel I would spot my other compatriot opening up doors to see what's happening, and I assume I would go in to join.
Okay, you go in to join. So you see the symbol as well. Do you two want to make a check to see if you can identify what the symbol is?
I would love to do a theology check. Would that fit for this?
It would actually probably be government.
Government.
Would be better.
Okay. Sure.
I got
Or
my
culture,
ranks.
actually. Either of those would be fine.
Or culture. Okay. I would like to recall with Earth.
I'll assist.
Okay.
by
So you
giving
one more die.
Yeah.
Perfect.
While they're doing this, what are you doing?
All right, so they are doing this. I finish. I finish up.
How many do I get to keep?
I'll think
What's
about
your
it as they're doing
My ring
this.
is 3.
4 because I'm helping you. Right? Is that how that works? Does it keep one more if I'm assisting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll keep
You're very successful.
those 3, and I'll roll my exploding success. Oh man!
that means
so,
if you choose to keep that, you get to do another one.
yeah, let's just keep this train rolling. Okay. All right.
Oh, wowza.
Fired.
I
So you
know
get-
everything.
You get 2 strife. Okay, so I guess before you left the Crablands, you brushed up on your scorpion
Yeah.
families so
Yeah.
you could get an idea. So this symbol is actually one that you haven't seen before, but you're able to kind of ascertain like the sum of its parts. So it definitely seems to be deriving from the symbol for the House of Bayushi. So it's like a scorpion, but there are like some other like nuances there. And you imagine that this is probably the symbol for the local lord, whatever kind of symbol that they've decided to put upon their castle as kind of like this belongs to me. This is my identifying mark. There is, however, in the symbol some hidden markings that would suggest that perhaps they are dealing with blood magic.
I knew
Wait,
it.
what?
They are Maho symbology.
That the Lord Himself is a
Lord
Lord.
themselves perhaps is a Maho user. And you're also, and this was a theology check that you made. This symbol seems to be, so not only is it like an identifying mark, it also seems to be kind of, not a ward, but an invocation that is causing them to slumber.
Okay.
You don't know where all the blood came from, though.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be coming from the peasants, so blood came from somewhere.
I'm gonna come out and join them as they're kind of figuring this out.
Is Sayaka
Can I-
coming with us?
Yes, she
I
is.
assume she
You gotta
wouldn't want to
protect her.
stay alone
Yeah.
during all of
She's following you around, and
Okay.
she's just like, this is not what we signed up for. We need to. I'm conflicted.
Well,
I feel like I would be explaining all of this like out loud
Yeah.
as I'm like like pointing out like, oh, well, this means this, and because of that, this, something like that to the group, so everyone's on the same even footing.
So we are in a different scene. So you're going out and you're kind of all like having this little powwow, like figuring out that you think it's the lord of this local lord, who you couldn't figure out any information about, but now realize is a Maho user. It's a new scene,
truly shocking.
and you see something.
Oh yeah, which eye?
Both of them, your eyes cross. You see your sister again, and she's standing. So you kind of are all like standing in a circle, and she's standing there too. And at first, there doesn't seem to be anything strange about her standing there, and then her face contorts and twists into this vile Oni face. And you're gonna suffer your strife. Have some strife. Gain your void point back. And you feel like it's trying that moment was trying to tell you something, but you're not. You can't figure out what it was.
Okay.
Something feels real bad.
Well, so all right. So we're standing there with the peasants. It seems like it's the Lord that's tied to this. I'm certain that Bayushi Shoju would not stand for such a blight upon the Scorpion clan.
The Scorpion have always been loyal allies and have always cared about the wellness of the Empire. I trust that someone as noble as Lord Bayushi would not allow this demon to dwell on his land. Is this a reinforcements moment? We go back and go get help, or do we want to go storm strike team style?
We have all we need here
We
to
are-
resolve this problem.
We are certainly not equipped to resolve this problem, and we need to go and get reinforcements, probably directly from the Scorpion clan. I'm sure we can get your jade somewhere else.
So you want to go and deal with it right now.
Yes.
You want to go get reinforcements, which is the Sinister Zone.
Yep, it's true.
So what? Your companion is going to follow your lead.
Aki is impatient.
He wants to go do it.
Aki rushes in.
Okay, so you grab your horse and you make your way
Yeah.
to the castle. All right.
I'm
What are
gonna
you
grab my
two
pony
doing?
and
Yeah.
go as well.
All
Are you
right.
gonna let them?
Let the courtier go back and deal with the courts and the papers.
Are you gonna let your
we'll
charge
solve
go
this.
off?
We have a Maho to
No.
You're attached at the hip. You gotta come.
This is I'm getting too old for this.
Remember-
All right.
Remember
How
your
far
remember
away is
your
this
duty.
castle?
It's a half day.
It's a half
It's
day.
gonna take a little bit of time. We're gonna fast forward through it.
Right. But okay, are we
Still very late.
going back to sleep
That's true.
for the rest of the night, or to rest?
No time for rest.
Who's after us?
And I would
Like,
never
we're-
trust to
we're-
close my eyes anywhere. in this
Sure,
one.
but we're not going on the road in the dark. That seems objectively more dangerous.
You're impatient.
I'm impatient. Feel like we might
furious.
risk
I'm
it.
furious
At
right
least,
now.
at least you have to wait until daylight.
We can walk if that'll make you more comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's
We'll trot on the
Sure,
ponies,
yeah.
so it's fine.
Whenever the GM makes notes, it's always when
just-
you know.
I vote we go now.
Sure, I'm on board
Alright.
for it. I don't
Before
feel,
any more lives are affected or lost.
All right,
the player feels like we should wait until morning, but I feel like at this point I can't stop my character.
all right.
That's the best.
I'll go
position to be
gather.
in.
I'll go gather our things.
Okay, you go gather your things. You guys.
Can I put my night milk into his water bottle?
A water bottle?
I mean,
Presumably,
there's
so-
like,
some-
Okay,
maybe a
so
flask or
this is
something.
gonna
Yeah,
be.
I don't
This
have like a
is
sports
gonna
with
be
me.
a competitive check. So you're going to make a survival check, and you're
Okay.
going to make a skullduggery check.
I need to keep him safe, right? I'm supposed to keep him out of trouble. That's what I was told to do.
Yeah. I'm on
Okay.
board for that.
So skullduggery,
All right.
survival.
Okay, I don't-
Well, I'll let you do sentiment actually if you'd
Okay.
like to.
Sure.
Is there any way
that
I can
makes
try to
sense.
catch this sleight of hand? Or not?
You may offer assistance
I feel
if
like-
you'd like to.
I'll offer assistance to you.
This has got to be a void check for sense.
You're trying to be sneaky, but I don't know. They're
If
keeping an
you're
eye
caught,
on
we're
it.
gonna
What are you gonna do?
start a fight.
Yeah, right.
Do you want to tell them what night milk
Oh, I guess I
does?
should.
So they know you're not
yeah.
murdering
Oh
them?
yeah, I guess I should probably.
Oh, I thought this was like your poison. You're gonna kill
No.
them.
No, it's like
Oh.
a sleeping aid.
The only
right?
way I can keep you safe is to kill you.
No, clearly not. No, 1 second, let me find it real quick. Night milk is somewhere in here. Here it is. A dizzying concoction. Suffer 5 fatigue and the disoriented and prone conditions.
Oh.
Okay, well,
Not too
go ahead and
bad.
roll.
So let's see, I can keep up to 3 of these. So that's gonna be that exploding success, that success and that opportunity, and that success and that. strife.
So because this is a competitive check, yes, you want as many successes as
Yeah.
possible.
And then I get an exploding success off of that, which is another exploding
man.
success with a strike.
Now
You're
he's
gonna
rolling
strike.
hot.
Strife out at
Oh,
least.
no.
No, I'm not. I'm at 2 strife.
Oh, okay, that's probably
So I've got an opportunity there to cancel 1. So I'm looking at 2 strife right now. I don't need that one. All right, so I've got 4 successes, taking 2
luck.
strife.
I rolled early, so I'll just keep my roll.
Did
that
you
I
get my
did.
help too?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah.
Are you trained in, or did you roll for sentiment?
I did.
Are you trained in sentiment?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, so you get a white die.
1 white die.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can choose whether or not you want to keep it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Come
probably
on.
good. Oh,
Get the train
do it, do
going.
it, do
Oh,
it.
please.
Oh.
Oh, 4 to 4.
Oh, man.
It is 4 to 4.
It is 4 to 4. I don't know. This is a tie.
So maybe you drink the poison, but you know that I did it? That seems like success
Yeah.
for both of our points.
I think that's it. You drink some poison and you start to feel not very good, but you know who did it.
Yep.
You fall over. You're not feeling good.
Maho traitor! Just fall asleep.
You know who did it too,
Yeah.
because you know you didn't
What
do
have
it.
you done? You poisoned one of our own.
Your companion
My lord
goes to you and
commanded me
immediately
to
tries
keep
to
him
like.
safe.
"Duh."
Running off in the middle
my,
of night, I might add, to storm a
strikes.
castle of a Maho user isn't going to keep anyone safe. Learn your place,
my-
whippersnapper. Crack with a staff.
Do you
Oh, are
hit?
you
Do
fighting?
you hit?
Are we fighting now?
No, not like I'm like waving
Time
it.
to do.
No, I'm waving it around.
We also have to honor the lands of Scorpion, and this is a Scorpion clan looks really bad right now with what this.
Certainly, no one
He's
is
like,
suggesting
To me-
no
to
one's
me-
suggesting we let
So
this
do I put,
lie.
like, the 5
To me, this
fatigue on my
outweighs any
sheet as
other.
Yeah, was that what it was? It was 5 fatigue.
well? I think so.
Yes, 5 fatigue, disoriented.
Oh, so you're
not
just,
even
you're just
halfway.
disoriented and prone, so you can get up, or no?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you can
so you're
you can
still
stand
fine.
up, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
you're like
Not kind
passed
of.
out.
Yeah.
He's not going to go like storming a castle with any success.
probably
How
not.
long would it take for these effects to wear off?
Long enough for us to go and get reinforcements from the Scorpion clan.
Well, he can't go.
That's right, you're staying here with him.
Oh yeah. Bye.
Bye.
You can leave us alone. You go get reinforcements. I'll stay here.
Okay, I trust that you will keep him alive. No, I can't leave him.
Sayaka is going to stand up and straighten herself, and she's going to look at you, and she says, "The Hida will hear of this."
I'm positive that they will. They will-
She's
I will-
angry.
They will no doubt express their thanks for my safeguarding their warriors from certain death.
I'm really glad that my guy is drugged right now because I don't even know what to do.
If it wouldn't take forever, I think she would probably try to duel you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to do now because now we're in a standstill.
Yeah.
Like, is that the end of the session, or do we like?
Does it end in a duel?
Yeah.
It could end in a
Because I'm
duel.
planning on putting you in the back of my pony and heading there anyway.
I say we
so
put everyone
I
on
think,
ponies and go to Scorpion.
I think what we're gonna do is time is going to pass because you need to recover from you being poisoned. Do you challenge Kyobu to a duel afterwards, or do you decide to just like go anyway once you're?
I mean, there's no honor in squishing an old man at Tetsubo.
Yeah.
Especially someone who is supposed to be my protector, as ill-guided as their actions may have been.
Using underhand
Totally
tactics.
protected you.
It is
Scorpion.
daytime by the time
Sure.
you feel better, so a lot of time has passed.
Did
But
anything
no one went to
happen?
get reinforcements. So the whole purpose of doing this was, okay.
Did
Well,
anything?
also nighttime was scary.
Yeah.
Also nighttime.
Yeah, he also wanted to run up in the middle of the night.
Did anything change with the villagers?
Yes, actually, as the sun started to rise, the villagers started to get up and just go about their activities as if nothing.
Okay.
What
What's
about
wrong?
the 2 week?
Okay, awesome. As soon as the villagers are
What did you do with
yeah.
them? Did you tie them up?
Well, the
we
one
didn't
is
really get to
still.
that,
The
I
one
guess.
was thoroughly incapacitated.
Yeah.
The other one was held by the rocks. Right?
I guess we didn't do anything. We just left them.
we knocked the one unconscious.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're just still there. They're just still in the leader's hut, and the rest of the villagers don't know what happened. Some of the villagers are now heading towards the sake brewery.
All right, so as dawn breaks and some villagers start coming out.
And these villagers do have blood on their backs. They just don't seem to have noticed.
No.
like
that's
not even like on each
terrifying.
other. Like they like can't like
They're
like
not.
blind to it.
They don't seem, just like when you first arrived at the village. They don't seem very responsive. Like they're going about their daily tasks. They just don't seem very like aware of what's
man.
happening.
Okay.
Theory.
Okay.
So, something's in the sake that's like keeping them all passive. I think. I think what we should do is figure out a way to snap everybody out of it, and then have them go get reinforcements. We storm the castle. Maybe
I can accept this plan.
fade to black. You know.
We can. Yeah. Let's do that if you guys.
If we
you
can
guys
figure
want to.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can figure
if
it
we're
out.
capable of doing it, I'm
All right.
happy with that.
So you actually notice that it's not just so several of the villagers are starting to like get their farming implements and stuff, and they're getting ready for the day. But instead of heading out into the fields, all of them actually seem to be like slowly heading towards the sake brewery. Not like in any sort of like, they're not all flocking there, but
Sure,
they're all just sort of like making their way there after they grab their stuff.
Like casually going over. Oh, hey, all right. I got an idea.
All right, what you got?
I have a rank in command, so I feel like this may be a perfect opportunity for an insight check to
Sure.
shout to these people to try and wake them up. To yell at them that they're being manipulated by a Maho user who is shunned by the kami, great and small, that they're being manipulated into this horrid thing, that they're being taken advantage of, and 2 of their compatriots alone have been murdered. Their village leader is most likely killed, as along with all of the missing family members.
It's
and
a
it's time
lot
for
to lay
them-
on these people.
for them
no.
to pick up their tools and go to Lord Bayushi and get his
Oh
warriors.
gosh, no! Do
Yes!
not support a revolution.
Revolution.
I'm just gonna have to start killing
Okay.
peasants. Do not do that.
Roll for command.
All right.
Roll for fire
So
command.
I've got 1 for command and then 3 for fire to insight. That's
Oh, neat.
3 success.
Holy
a
moly.
good handful of strife.
You get to keep 3, though.
Where am I at on my strife?
5.
I'm good.
So you'll strife out if you keep those 3.
Yeah. This.
That means on future checks you can't keep strife symbols anymore, and your vigilance will be garbage.
Okay. I mean, I'm.
What ring did you roll in?
Fire.
Oh.
No.
So these count as successes too.
Oh,
That's for
that's
combat.
Combat only.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it. I feel like the positives outweigh the negatives right now at this moment.
Okay.
Well, I may live to regret
You
that.
you yell so loudly and so vehemently
Yeah.
that a few of the villagers that are nearest to you actually do stop and they turn and they look at you with their like kind of glossed over eyes, and they stop going towards the sake brewery, but there's still a decent number of them that are still going there. But
Okay.
you seem to have like maybe like half a dozen just like their attention's on you.
Okay.
I could. I'm gonna try to make a barrier at the door they'll make it so they can't enter. The
Okay,
brewery
sure,
door.
yeah.
So I'm gonna do a void theology check.
Is that for your threshold barrier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have to use void because void stops humans.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, it attempts to stop them.
Yeah.
Does anyone have want to assist in my?
For
You're
theology.
yelling right now, so
Yeah.
you would be the one
Oh,
that would
sure.
offer assistance. You can offer assistance even if you don't have theology.
Sure. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I'll help
Yeah.
out with that.
How are you helping? Just curious.
Blockading the door.
Blockading the door so
No, I'm just-
she has time to work. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. She's gonna be like working on the door, and I will go and stand in front of the door with my hands pointedly on my weapons.
Okay. As you're working, go ahead and roll.
Alright.
The villagers like are starting to like line up in front of the door, but they're not like trying to get past you. They're just kind of there. Like they don't know what to do now. You're in the way.
Okay. Okay.
So I only need 2, so I'm gonna take 1 strife and keep that.
Okay. And so what does
They
what
have
does
to-
it do?
They have to make a target 3 meditation void check to.
None of them could do that.
They're not going to be able to do it. I'm gonna say because they're peasants, it just works.
Okay.
They can't get through the door.
All right.
They're just kind of, so now they're just like, there's
I just
just a
need a
bunch of them
huge
just standing here and they're not doing anything.
Can I talk to them? Like, will they respond if I'm like, "Why are you here?"
So you're like on the other side of the building. They don't respond. They still seem to be kind of like out of it.
Well, how's it going with Nate? Over on.
While I'm monologuing to
Yeah.
everyone, would it be possible that Yasuki goes and like destroys the symbols? Maybe like that might
Sure.
break some
Yeah,
of this spell.
she goes around and she starts ripping up people's beds.
Yeah.
She just takes her wakizashi and just starts ripping things apart. And actually, you start to notice, so you don't realize this is doing anything, but one of the villagers starts to like move a little bit differently, like more fluid, normal human movements, and just kind of like touches their head, and they seem very like, they seem confused.
I'm gonna call them out, and I'm gonna be like, "You there? Can you hear me?" Basically.
Yes, honorable Lord Samurai.
Do you?
They drop to the ground and
Why have you come to the sake brewery?
oh, we are told to drink a cup of sake before work. Our Lord is gracious.
Your lord has been tainted by the Scorpion clan. I know I'm speaking out of turn, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
Your lord has been tainted by the Scorpion clan. His lands are forfeit to another, and all of his edicts are now void.
Ooh.
Yes, Lord Samurai.
Return to the fields. Start farming.
She like looks like she wants to say something. Lord Samurai, may I speak?
Speak.
I work in the sake brewery. Shall I go to the fields anyway?
The sake brewery is also condemned and will be burned shortly.
Very well, Lord
It
Samurai.
was good sake, though. You did fine work, or whatever.
Thank you, Lord Samurai. She goes and she
I'm not
like kind of
experienced
like
with talking to these people.
she like scoots backwards and then goes to the fields to work.
I will.
And one by
guess I'll
one,
play.
as so she's doing this in all of the houses. This keeps happening.
I'll repeat this speech every time.
Okay, every single time.
I'll send them all to work in the fields.
Keep Even the
farming.
children.
Would they normally work in the fields?
Not the young ones. They usually run around with chickens.
Would I know that?
No, probably not.
They are. They're
the
also going to work.
fields. Yay, I get to go to work with Dad.
Yep. Everyone's going to work in the fields today.
Okay, everyone's in the fields. you start to notice it's working too, because some of the people that stopped and are like attention to you are starting to like. So how are you approaching these ones?
I think I would see them as like these are our people to go get reinforcements.
Okay.
Like I'd explain what had happened, what we had found the night before. That there's
One
evidence.
of the peasants in front of you is actually the leader's daughter, so the village leader's daughter, and she is like, she's on it, and she gives you this very concerned look, and she says, of course, honorable crab samurai, I will send people right away to get reinforcements, but forgive me, I am worried for my father.
I understand. You are right to worry. I won't make an empty promise to you, but I will promise that this evil man will be dealt with.
You can have his body more down.
Evil man, our lord is a woman.
Oh, either one.
The lord's named Kokoro, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
I guess we never got the Lord's name either.
No, we did. We got it.
You got it
already.
once.
It's on here.
It's
Okay.
fine.
I'm just forgetful.
It's okay. Okay, so she does as you've asked, and she sends two particularly able-bodied peasants to go to the next village over to talk to them and start a train going so we can
Yeah,
go get.
perfect.
So you want to send word to the Bayushi?
I feel like it would be right for them to know
Yeah.
what's
Okay.
happened under.
That's certainly what I'm pushing for.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
So you send that out. Everyone else is working in a field. Everyone else is working in the field.
Just kind of like go like this and what they're doing. Like, I guess.
I'm a baker. I don't know
working
how
in
this
the field. I don't know what I'm doing.
They can help each other. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Okay.
Could we send one of them with like one of these symbols, like kind of as a piece of evidence?
I can use
Sure.
my calligraphy to make it.
Yeah, it would
something
actually
to-
also probably be good if you wrote a letter
Yes, I would do that.
with your.
My composition.
And
Oh,
guess
it's brush
what?
work.
Yeah.
That means that you heal some stress.
Yeah.
Oh,
please try.
snap.
What was your passion?
Storytelling.
You told a story to these
did.
villagers.
Hey!
It was a horrible story. You should worry about your dad. You should worry.
Yeah, he's probably not okay. A crab wouldn't lie. That's not what they do.
Okay, so you have written a very well-to-do letter. I'm assuming you both put your seal on it, so
Yes,
they
of
know
course.
who it's coming from. One of the two of the villagers set off to go have this delivered. They're pretty able-bodied people. The leader's daughter kind of takes charge now that the old lady's dead.
Heck yeah.
Oh no. And are you three gonna just wait for reinforcements and then go storm the castle? That we're gonna fade to black, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're doing.
okay. So you wait for reinforcements, they arrive, and then you are going to make your treacherous path through the forest. to
Leading the
Oh,
charge.
snap.
to the charge. All
On the
right.
ponies.
On the pony.
That's gonna be it.
Wow.
Yay! You guys did a really good job.
That was a ton of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. That was super cool.
Poor old lady.
Poor old lady.
The roll and keep system where you get to decide like, this isn't that important, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fail this. Like that's really cool.
None of you strifed out, which was awesome.
Yeah. I love this exploding die mechanic. By
Right?
the way, there's nothing more exciting than just letting that train ride.
Dude,
Keep
you were rolling
going.
so good too. I think you got like more than 2 successes on every roll today.
You had a
Yeah.
lot of problems with the spirits
was-
Oh, yeah.
today.
My
You are
clan was watching over
communicative.
me.
There it is.
Cool. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part of the adventure, or
The
just
adventure or
yeah.
the system or
Yeah, I
whatever
mean,
you
I was
liked.
talking about the strife and the roll and keep.
Yeah, you really liked the roll
That's
and
really
keep,
cool. I don't know. I like being a crotchety old man, and I also like poison inmate. That was
That was pretty good. So
That was
I
my
was.
favorite.
There were like
Even
a
if
couple
it-
of different outcomes I was thinking. That was not one of them.
yeah.
That's,
I'm sorry if it threw your adventure off course.
That's one of my favorite parts about GMing is just the players do stuff, and I was just waiting for one of you to do something.
Yeah,
Where I was just like,
It seemed like the appropriate Scorpion thing to do.
I mean, to be fair, if you guys had stormed in, it might have ended really badly.
It was obviously a bad idea. All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for watching. This was Legend of the Five Rings Roleplaying. This was the adventure for the characters that we made on Tuesday. So there are all kinds of adventures. That's the beginner game that we got here. perfect for getting started, even if you've never done role-playing before. And then there's the core rule book.
This is the beginner game too.
Yep, there's all kinds of supplements and stuff. So definitely check that out. Subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever we post any new content. We're going to be back next Tuesday. We're actually going to be talking about X-Wing and Star Wars Destiny and their world championships. And we're going to have a whole bunch
X-Wing.
of organized play information about that. So follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Links in the description. And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.